not afraid to die. Type to make you cry, type to put a price all up on your head. Do just what I said. I'm a straight up villain, straight up villain. Yeah, no feeling, yeah, no feeling. Straight up villain, straight up villain. Yeah, no feeling, yeah, no feeling. Alive, but I'm dead. Hear my voice up in your head. Watch it fill you full of dread till you go. Is it really a surprise if I'm playing with your mind and I treat you like a prize? Then I throw you to the side. And am I really that bad if I love to make you mad and get happy when you're sad? Only care about a bad. In control, that's how I like it, and I'm never letting go. Nah, never had a soul, so you ain't taking nothing from me when you go. Nah, I stay so deep inside your brain and take you somewhere far away. Time to roll the dice, you know I'm the type to risk my life, not afraid to die. Type to make you cry, type to put a price all up on your head. Do just what I said. I'm a straight up villain, straight up villain. Yeah, no feeling, yeah, no feeling. Straight up villain, straight up villain. Yeah, no feeling, yeah, no feeling. But I'm dead, you know what's up in your head. Watch it fill you full of dread till you go. Bang, bang, you can do anything. No fear, no pain. Listen to your brain go. Go stupid, go dumb, go stupid, and then we go insane. Whoa. Just do what I say, follow me all the way. Time to roll the dice, you know I'm the type to risk my life, not afraid to die. Type to make you cry, type to put a price all up on your head. Do just what I said. I'm a straight up villain, straight up villain. Yeah, no feeling, yeah, no feeling. Straight up villain, straight up villain. Yeah, no feeling, yeah, no feeling. Life, but I'm dead. Hear my voice up in your head. Watch it fill you full of dread till you go.
push it away. And I'm chasing whispers before they all just fade. So how can I leave it all behind when I refuse to watch it fall to dust? I will find a this porcelain mirage may start to break. Each piece a reminder, every single little mistake. So how can I leave it all behind when I refuse to watch it fall to dust? Tell me why it won't ever be the same. I'll burn it all, no matter who's to blame. I'll find a way. I'll find a way. And every time I close my eyes, a little less of you remains. I know you're slipping further from me now. Am I too far away? Tell me
a big show. Next on the ladder, is it your name in the rafters? Breathe, breathe, breathe. No man is silent. Bad guy woke up and chose violence. And they're singing my praises, la la la. Screaming my name out, la la la. This is why we're immortal.
Clock strikes upon the hour and the sun begins to fade. Still enough time to figure out how to chase my blues away. Done alright up till now. It's the light of day that shows me how. And when the night falls, my loneliness gone. Oh, dance with somebody.
This domain
I wanna feel the heat with somebody.
is now
I wanna dance with somebody.
online.
Need somebody who loves me. Oh, dance with somebody.
1 minute, guys!
With somebody.
Because I haven't heard this tune in such a long time, man! It's been a moment! It's been a minute! Welcome back! This domain is now, in fact, online. We're right back at it again, and it's summertime, ladies and gents, as you can probably tell by the heat, wherever you're from. I hope you had an amazing day, because you're about to
Domain.
have a much better one, because we're ready. We've been waiting for this for quite some time. It's been a long 8 weeks, 10 weeks, maybe even. Push it a little bit further. Tryout season is the craziest. It takes such a long time to get the right roster going. It takes an even longer time for that roster to synergize before the first official is upon us, and that's exactly what we're doing here tonight. Fuse is up versus Nameless. This is your Benelux Ascent series, which is part of Road of Legends, and it's a best of 3. Week 1, day 1. We're ready to get ourselves started. I'm gonna bring back a face that we haven't seen for quite some time, man, and I'm so glad to see this boy again. How we doing today, brother? Unfazed. How you doing, man?
Hey, I'm doing good, man. It's good to be back, man. And I mean, today's it's a crazy
Hell yeah.
occasion, right? Hell
It is.
yeah, bro. You know, we got Nameless and we got Fuse. So like, listen, right?
Yeah.
The boys are winning tonight, okay?
Yeah.
But we just don't know which boys are winning tonight. But like I said, like Laura came in earlier and she was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, you know, are you casting today's game?" I was like, "Hell yeah!" And she's like, "Oh, who's it with?" And I was like, "It's with Dom." And she was like, "Oh, great, you know, good luck." And I was like, "There's no losers, because the homies are gonna win or my team's gonna
There
win." I was
isn't.
like, "It is what this is a
Yeah.
good first game." And I mean, Nameless is coming into Div 2. Fuse have had a long wait around, so I'm excited to see what Div 2's got, man. I mean, the quality's great. Fuse have refined the roster. They brought back scopes and they've got some spicy
have.
meatballs in there. I want to see what they do, man. I mean, it's gonna be a great night, man.
I know. And we've got history, man. We've got so much history here because I don't know, how far do you want to take this back, Unfazed? We're
All the way
taking
back. All the
way
way
back. We got time. Where's the time on my my brother's MacBook? And by the way, my PC is in repair, so I'm using my brother's MacBook, and I didn't know how to set things up, so I had to sit down for like hours yesterday, and I bought like an extension. Boring stuff. Let's get on to the exciting stuff, which is, I think, like maybe October last year, around the same time that literally Fuse was created. You was thinking of, you know what? I'm gonna create a whole team. This is a roster that Unfazed has been sort of just steering towards the right direction for quite some time, and right now they're back. They're back because they were already here during the Winter Open qualifiers, where Fuse and Nameless did well. Actually, we was gonna go up against each other during like a best of 3, and then that was an unfortunate outcome. Wasn't there? Do you wanna maybe say exactly?
Yeah, we got
like
we got DQ'd, filthy DQ'd.
it wasn't fun.
It was yeah.
I was looking forward to that cast, man.
Yeah, TLDR.
And we're back.
My mid laner griefed the team. his alt account was being played alongside the main, and when I applied for Benelux, his main had most games, and then his alt had a handful more games, and it was cooked. And I was like, I get it. If that's the
And
DQ,
it is what it is, man. Like you get individuals joining, and you like sort of go in there with a lot of trust, and sometimes you don't. It's not even trust. Sometimes the players, oh my bad. Like it's literally just a my bad moment.
Yeah.
It is what it is. But because we didn't quite have the time to get into that best of 3 all those many months ago, we're doing it now. Not in a Division 3 qualifier. We're doing it to start off Benelux Ascend Series Summer Split in 2026. That's the exciting part. And if I had to go back, yeah, it's sad, but this I think is the best one to do the first best of 3 between the two teams, between the two GOATs.
Hey, listen, you know, we live and breathe esports, man, and I mean, I would not choose a finer org to square up against in round 1. And again, you know,
vice versa, man.
Early days. Yeah, this is early days. I mean, you know, every little team, every little thing is going to get mapped out. Everything gets a little bit more digested, split after split. You know, everyone's this is it. We're learning to walk in Div 2 again. Who's bringing the new guys in? Who's got the champ pool? Who's playing tanky tops? Who's one shot on people mid? This is the learning part. And I mean, you know, Fuse kind of got the deck of cards super close to the chest. I mean, a lot of new Fuse people coming in, bro. So, I mean, like, you know, this is its debut, right? Div 2 debut for 4. It's a big night, bro. Big night.
It is. It is. And I've heard quite a good few things about Foxy in the mid lane here. Maybe perhaps being one of the most goated mid laners in the entirety, by the way, of this split as a mid laner. So that is wow. Okay, I'm looking forward to seeing exactly what he's going to be able to cook. He's going up against Scopes. Scopes is a man of experience. He's a man of, well, 2 splits now on Fuse, and he's finished top 3 in the last one alongside a completely different 4 team members by his side. Long story short, some members retired team comp, some are right now in Road of Legends. So, I mean, there's good reasons here and there's good reasons there. So right now, you will find familiar faces in front of you on this rift, especially in the jungle and in the AD carry role. Top lane, let's start there for Fuse. We got Linium. Linium's coming in with a lot of experience, playing in comp for quite some time, and our best tryout by far. So very happy to have him on board. Whether that's weak side, whether that's strong side, he's got what it takes to carry it through the laning phase into the team fights. And then we've got the jungle. Now, Rising is somebody that a few of you may recognize the name of. He's here to stay. 3 splits in a row this year, another one last year. He's won 2 splits this year, all grand finals back to back. Didn't quite have the lucky turn of events onto his promotions for Road of Legends, where as a roster they went 3-1 against the relegations in Road of Legends, so didn't get that promotion. Ryzen is back, however, now on Fuse. Alongside Scopes, we know Scopes. Nudie is the AD carry, and Nudie's from Red Once Upon a Team, who is, of course, one of the teams that is also playing this year as well in this split. However, this time round, we've got Nudie on Fuse, man, and he's a goat, by the way. I love Nudie to bits. And then he's joined by none other but a player who hasn't played for about 2 years or so, coming back for the last 10 weeks, getting back into the swing of things after playing in Div 1 for about 2 years. So a lot of experience there. That's the support player, Sentient Ape. And his name is like Agent, but he wanted to be like he also wanted like on the there was a highlight reel that we did for the whole roster. He wanted to like have monkey noises in the background for him instead of actual highlight plays. Yeah, that didn't happen. But he's a certain individual, man. He's a certain individual, man. What do we have on the side of Nameless, man? What are we saying?
Well, it's the full recycled team from our DQ run. So yeah, Foxy is mid. In no particular order. Foxy mid has history playing at a high level. But we knew him before he went to the high levels, which is great. Nice. Ride on in the jungle, you know, just well, actually, on the tier list that was linked in our Discord, a D tier jungler predicted by somebody, which is something he's eager to prove wrong. AD carries Tom the tank, just
Hell yeah.
super mechanical.
Tom the
super
Tank
great
Engine,
AD
what a
carry.
name.
Tom the Tank Engine, obviously robbed of his username because he couldn't have it on the tournament realm. It's too long, understandable. We got Doggo top lane. He's super chill. Whenever we do drafting, we all move his volume to 0, so he doesn't influence the draft, which is brilliant. Making sure he doesn't get his Kaisar top and run the boys down.
Nice.
Outside of that, we've got who have I missed? Oh,
Valet.
How dare I?
Valet.
The Russian Blitz
I know Valet.
prodigy, who's been he skirted around the enchanters. He does his thing.
He's a good guy. He's a nice guy. I've actually tried him out on Fuse before. Yeah,
did?
for sure.
You did,
yes, yeah.
So,
it was like all the way back in CWO, like winter last year. But we're back here now, man. And I believe we are getting into the draft. It's probably going to pop up on the screen any minute now. And I'm waiting for it. Very excited to see exactly what's going to happen. Because for some of you, you may know if you're socially on social media as much as I am, then you may have come across, and speaking of the devil, right here, let's go. I've made a tier list for the entirety of this for this split. So if you've seen that, it's an exciting one. Make sure you do go and check it out on the Twitter at the domain on X. That's going to be now behind us. That's something that we can look at between the games, as right now it's all about the game itself. Benelux Ascend series, we're back. Summer Split is back. Week 1, day 1. Fuse on the blue side and Nameless on the red.
Man, it's nice to be back in a league. I mean, we've been coasting through the sort of plains of scrims and stuff for so long. It's nice to have an official today. So I mean, you know, needless to say, both teams ready for today, which is great. You know, we've got a lot of excitement. I'm excited. Tom's 100% excited. So it's going to be a bang game. Big bans coming out. I mean, obvious stuff. Orianna Nocturne been taken away. No ball combo there. Hyper carries removed from Fuse as well. A bit scared of the jungler maybe. Taking away Graves. Varus being taken away. Mel being taken away. So yeah, you know, comp's still yet to be decided. But we are potential flex, but that does look scopy.
We do have obviously quite an interesting meta right now, where a lot of the mages are put down into the bot lane and the AD carries are pretty much no more. It's all about those 6 items. It's all about those extra slots for the booties that the AD carries don't have to really worry about, and therefore they scale match better. And also the mages get so much, they get more armor. They get the same exact armor that the AD carries do, but the AD carries don't get magic resistance as they level up. So what that means is that all of a sudden you get those mages throwing out those casual abilities, and as the levels go on through the laning phase, they actually do end up doing more damage because of having less MR per level. That's going to be a Jarvan locked in for the side of Nameless.
Do you know what we should do, right, Dom? Right, so that we both have to train ourselves to adapt here. You predict and try and work out our draft, and I'll try and work out Fuse's draft, and we'll see if we can piece it together, right? That way then it's not gonna be like, well, I know everything that they're going to do next. We'll go opposite sides. This is going to be a good one. So Jinx being picked up. I mean, what are you thinking? What do we need?
She definitely needs something that's going to be able to appeal for her a little bit, especially with something like a Wukong. Milio doesn't sound too bad for Nameless, so that could be something up there. Milio, or if you want to just send it with the Jarvan, you've got those roaming supports as well. And I would prefer a roaming support with something like a Syndra, but for the Milio, it's always a space for that with the Jinx.
A full collapse comp coming out. I like Fuse's front line, obviously Wukong, Camille. Camille's seeing a lot of action on support as well. I think if everyone's been griefed in solo queue by at least 5 by now, so sympathies there. Again, it's a cool pick. Again, locking down the Jinx with the Cyclone as well. It's really nasty. All in. Syndra's got fantastic follow through. So when they do pull the trigger on Nameless, it's going to be kind of difficult to do if Scatter comes out and it hits too many targets. But Bard, hey, talk to me about Bard. You like Bard, Dom? I like Bard.
I love Bard, man. It's one of those champions that has slowly crept up on us over the years, and now it's like pick and ban tier list. It's like, it's so strong. It offers great. Nobody can out-roam a Bard. He's got an amazing level 1. And then if you've got an AD carry that can hold their own, yeah, you can leave the lane, but maybe perhaps not for too long. And now the Jinx, I wouldn't necessarily be leaving a Jinx in a lane for too long, so perhaps not utilizing the Bard in the laning phase with the roams as much as you could with something like an Ezreal, etc. If you're Nameless.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty base take. Ziggs being taken away by Nameless to prevent the Camille Ziggs one-shot combo that we've seen a lot of. Aurelion Sol getting banged out. Banged out. He's getting banged.
Uppercut him, man. Like, he's out.
No, so Aurelion Sol's getting taken away. We do have an Aurelion Sol abuser on Nameless, so no surprises there.
In the top lane, right? Oof.
Yeah,
I heard.
It's a bit of a flex. It's a little bit of a flex. I'm sure we can fit another lane.
Keep your cards close to your chest now. Come on. 3-minute delay. You're good. You're fine. You'll be alright.
Do you know what? I think your read's great though. I think Jinx is a tricky AD carry to leave alone, especially with Camille around. And Bard is very like, I'm gonna leave you. So I'd like to have seen like a Mel or something that takes care of themselves. Obviously banned out by Nameless to start things off. So yeah, it's a risky play. It is a risky play, but Bard is a good playmaker. Can potentially turn somebody golden if Camille does get the ultimate lockdown. As we do see the last bans, mate. Rumble, Galio.
Yes, we do. And obviously, once you pick on red side R3, you also get that R4. So ban away anything that's good against Aurora, and perhaps that's the Galio. Galio's pretty good into an Aurora, all things considered. So now it's not going to be necessarily picked up by nobody. That's a very loud car on my road. Syndra is still a flex here at this point. We'll find out at this point in the draft whether it's going to stay in that mid lane. That Nameless thinks it's going. Actually, you know what? Ziggs and Galio, they're sort of throwing a mid and an AD carry ban, so at least they're covering a little bit of both. And there's your answer. It's a Syndra bot lane.
It is definitely. There's no way Scopes is trading up the Rise. Let's be real, okay?
No. I mean, he's staying on that.
I like Rise into Aurora. Obviously, Aurora's got the in-out poke, but Rise is one of the mid laners that's like, oh, you're gonna ult and pressure me. Well, I kind of want you to be in that range. So there's a lot of control that can be taken away from that mid matchup, especially if Rise gets really aggressive or gets early kills with no flash. I like the top as well, Ornn. It kind of pieces the combo together. You've got the dive from Camille, the Call of the Forged God. You've got Scatter, you've got Cyclone. That is a nasty all-in. The only downside is if the damage isn't put down by the Rise and the Syndra in these team fights, because there's a lot of damage reliance on those. I know Wukong can get a very hyper carry, but yeah, it's a cool pick, man. I mean, K-Santa's a cool pick into the Ornn, just to sort of take, even Kaiser, just to take something out of this 1, 2, 3, 4 combo, right? Disrupting that all in is pretty much the name of the game. So we are going to see Kaiser lock.
That's interesting. So with the Mordekaiser, he does have a bit of wind-up time with his Realm of Death. So the Mordekaiser is able to be countered by something like the Bellow Breath, because once you see that flying at you, you can just use that, and then all of a sudden that ability is going to go on cooldown. But I don't necessarily believe the Mordekaiser is going to be ulting away an Ornn in team fights, unless he wants to deny. Cool. Yeah. I mean, if there's a conductor on the side of Fuse, that train's not going anywhere, but like just flying past everybody, because once you're in the Realm of Death, you're pretty much staying there. So no second proc on that ultimate for the Ornn. But obviously there's quite a few decent picks for that Mordekaiser to be focused on, especially like something like the Syndra. Now, speaking of the Syndra, again, it's a mage season split, or, you know, this side of the meta. You don't really have great siege with her, and I don't think there's much siege going on. There's a very short 2 mage auto-attacking sort of Syndra Rise at the towers, and then there's 3 melees, right? You have a Jinx on Nameless. They do have a siege. Once 3 or 4 members go down, that's another draft. Once
we're
4
going
members
back into
go
the
down, straight back, run it back. I'm ready. I wanted to see this all day. I was excited for this draft, and we are running back a draft. I don't know what's happening. I think they're just gonna whiz past it. Oh, by the way, I can definitely keep talking, Aiden. Don't worry. I'm just gonna keep the dead air, not dead. Okay, that's fair enough. That's fair enough. I thought I could keep the dead, not not dead, but apparently I can't tunnel vision. I can't listen and talk at the same time. I'm a man, all right? It's not in my nature. It's not something that I can do. I didn't even catch that. Did you? Did you catch that?
Yeah. So TR glitch. They swapped too soon, so the swap couldn't be done. That's what it was. So they had to remake to make sure the swap goes through. So thankfully, nothing crazy will be ironed out, and we will go in to the game very soon. I mean, so we've got Fuse on the ultimate all-in, the one-shot combo, the Wukong all-in versus the try and keep Jinx alive for a reset comp. How do you see this game going? Because I mean, the one-shot is pretty nasty, and you know, Jinx notoriously stays deep in these team fights, but you are going to get snared up by the Camille and the Ornn ultimate. That is way at the back. I kind of like Fuse's all-in. I think if they can get these all-ins right and really press the Jinx, I think this is a job well done. But if they can create the space they need and push off the Jinx, I think this is going to be a tough game. For the reasons you said, the damage is so spellcasty. When it gets like really intense, if 1 or 2 misspells come out, it's going to be a real damage loss. Whereas, you know, attack, move, and AD carries, we know what. We've seen Meccano Aphelios, bro. What else? May his league career rest in peace, mate. And maybe he'll come back, but, you know, hyper carries on AD carry are dangerous, especially if the game gets into that later part. Anything past 30 minutes, I would possibly take a Jinx over a Syndra in a team fight. However, if the Syndra scatters on, I'd take the Syndra. So it's a flip.
Yep, no, you got to be careful. There's a lot of tools that are just pretty much zoning away. Fuse has like great zoning potential, everything in their entire kit. You've got the Aurora, you've got to be worried about her flank going into the backline and removing something like the Ryze, something like the Syndra. That is definitely 2 targets that you want to keep alive as long as you can on Fuse. But there's many tools from Nameless to get into that backline. The Jarvan, right? Again, the Aurora, the Bard, the Tempered Fate here is going to do a lot of great things for Nameless.
It could. It's just, where do you ult? Because you've got Camille who can jump over the wall, so there's something going on over there. Then a Wukong's engaged over there. Then, you know, there's a lot of moving parts to the Fuse comp. I don't think it's going to be as easy as like, 3 melee hitting 1 target. This is an easy opportunity to peel. It is going to have to be very clutch. It's going to have to be quick. And Bard is one of those champs, if played well, he can do it. But I mean, there are immensely slippery targets. If the Cosmic Bind is cast on Camille and the ultimate buffers it. If, you know, there's a million things that can go wrong for both comps, really. And that's what we like, Dom. We like good games in the league. I kind of like this, you know?
We absolutely do. And I actually believe that both Syndra and the Jinx will be just left by themselves for the most part of this game anyhow. Obviously, you can punish the Jinx being alone for longer than she should be, especially if the Bard is roaming. But the Camille likes to roam as well, especially at the current meta. You've got... Once you get that level 3 on the supports, you're out. You're not coming back into the lane for the next 2 levels. Your AD carry is level 5. You're still level 3 on the map. Why? Because of the way the XP works. You gain so much more XP if you're behind, and if the minions are higher level than you, then you just come right back. You've got to just hover around a couple of waves in the bot lane, mid lane, wherever you are at that point as a support. And then... by then, you've already roamed into the top lane, maybe done a bit of a mid lane gank, won the Scuttle Crab fight, gotten a red buff in the enemy side of the jungle. The support meta right now is nasty. I love where League of Legends is right now. This might be one of my favorite sort of different types of league that we've seen in quite a long time. We are in game. We're about to get into our first one of Summer Split. Currently a pause, just figuring out a few more things. Players are getting their sort of beverings. I don't know. That's how you say that sentence? Yeah, beverings? Thank you. My guy.
You're there. Mate, honestly, it's got to be Nameless. I'd wager it is, because like you've got so much more TR history. The guys kind of, they did all their homework, they did their prep ahead of time, but I'm expecting maybe like 1 or 2 things, as I imagine will be the case for a few teams if they are breaking into TR this split. It is a little bit of a daunting task. For those out of the loop, you've got to download loads of different servers, and like there are different servers for different days. Mate, we were sent the doc over, and it was terrifying. It was terrifying. But Once it's all tidied up, I'm sure the tournament will run smoothly, man. But again, there's no real room for error because we were given a very, very lengthy period of time. We were told beforehand, so hopefully it gets resolved. I really hope it gets resolved.
Oh, please don't do us like that. It's too soon for any of those thoughts. So we're just about to get in there. And it's just some ping issues. We're getting updates from production. By the way, this is so cool. I don't have to do much. I just sort of hold my hands up in the air. It's like we're on a UKEL cast right now, unfazed. Which, by the way, we're never going to be able to do because obviously we're both play-by-plays and that's a little bit sad. But you know what? It's nice to have your own production.
Hell yeah, mate. And you guys do such a good job. I've got a big space in the heart for Fuse's efforts when it comes to production. You guys have always been slightly ahead of the curve, man. It's scary. You guys are a little bit too good. It is very scary. Even the posts on the LF team have been very decorated. I was like, my goodness me, how could these text peasants keep up with those pastes, bro? It's kind of crazy. I ain't gonna lie to you. You guys are cooking.
Let me tell you, AI's come out at the perfect time for Fuse to cook.
Hey, commissioned artwork, you mean, mate? Commissioned artwork.
No, I believe in raw talent. I believe in people. If you're an artist and you're looking for, just cooking up some art here and there, because I post, like, even right now, Nameless and Fuse graphic has cooked up, and it's rotating around the internet. It's out there now, and it looks sick. But yeah, so I'd be more than happy to obviously have more people coming down. This is a growing organization, and Nameless themselves as well. You've been at this for how long? Usually rosters, they just disband after 1-2 splits, but the dedication is there, and that's why I love that side from you as well, because you're just committed, man.
I mean, I think in a weird way, we've all got League of Legends is way more than a game, right? And it's got such a big part. It's a big part of my life. It's helped me through some tough times. I've been down bad, and granted, League of Legends, don't go on there if you're in a bad mood, by the way. But I mean, League of Legends has taken my mind off a lot of things, and it's helped me through a lot in my life. And you know what? I'll always be a part of the scene. I'll always be a part of the scene, and having a team is just another great thing to do, and you can sort of live vicariously through the team, and it's sharing the successes and unfortunately suffering with them as well. It's all part of it, man. But I mean, we do it for the love of the game, the love of the competition, and I mean, you're looking at two guys who are super passionate about the game and orgs, so you're in good company. If you like League of Legends and you want to see teams duke it out, this is the place to be. 100%.
It is. It 100% is, man. It's like League of Legends. It's got this shadow behind it. Everybody's talking. Oh, this is the year it's gonna die. Next year is the day. Next year is when League of Legends is off of everything. No, it's not. It's continuously surprising us. Even right now, the esports world championships that are happening in the obviously the Eastern sort of hemisphere words. It's crazy, man. It's growing. I love where it's going right now, and I don't think we need to be slowing down, because League of Legends is definitely not slowing down. The thing that has slowed down, of course, is the game right now. And if you're just joining us right now, it's the first one of the entire split. Summer's upon us. It's going to be it's going to be a very busy couple of months. Running for about 12 to 15 weeks until the very end of the split. Obviously, history on Division 2 in the spring split, it was a wild ride, man. It was a wild ride. I will say, walking into it, I was very biased. I still am, obviously. That's pretty much my second name. But, creating a tier list and putting Fuse all the way up top in spring, and then we defied all of the odds. We've entered Division 2 in the last chance qualifiers. Despite having a very open qualifiers couple of weeks, we then entered last chance with not so good of a start. 8th seed out of 8 teams is what Fuse has entered Benelux Ascent Series on last split, right? And then we entered the playoffs just on pretty much the brim of actually being able to even make it as the 6th out of 6 team. And then 4th out of 4th, 3rd, and that's where we dropped out. But we're not done yet. We're not even close to being even thinking about it right now. As you can see, the brand new roster on Fuse on the blue side is ready to take on game number 1. And that's going to be against Nameless, a brand new team on Benelux Ascent Series Division 2, who have been having quite a nice run on Div 3. Qualifying up until this point, Camille doesn't get the hook shot. Aurora is going to be starting the lane on half HP.
Such a good start for the Camille. I mean, Rise isn't really a champ that, I don't know, I don't know, it's kind of half and half. He doesn't tend to go for the early aggression, but it would be a shame if he didn't really leverage that. Good chunk out. I'm pretty sure the mid will balance out because they don't really have the kit. It's not like a Talon who's going to flash Ignite. It's more of a, wow, thank you for that. I will now take this damage bot lane. And she's done just that.
Oh, heavy. You're flashing right in. The body's getting low. Camille was going to get that first blood, but another one's being traded. Now all of a sudden, Jinx is getting excited. And it's only a Syndra that's going to be a double kill for none other but the Tommy the tank engine. Obviously, Tommy just in the TR name, but a double kill nonetheless.
Yeah, super good aggression from Sentient. Just a little bit too far in that bot lane. And of course, you know, we talked about this earlier on about how spellcasters versus sort of auto attackers have their strengths and weaknesses. And that is that's a big strength. Level 1, 1Q versus Jinx. Level 1, main ability is to auto attack. Tricky to have that kind of commitment. 2 kills for the Jinx to start is scary given that the main objective is to shut down. But again, it's early days.
It's a level 1 Bard, just revisiting the mid lane, making Aurora's life a little bit easier, obviously, from the back of that level 1 start. He's just going to be in and out, as the cannon is going to be also snatched and shared between the two. That was a very good turnaround for Nameless down in that bot lane, I will say. Tommy is having a very good time. If I may just say, production, if we could get the actual names of the players rather than the champions, whenever you can, that'd be smashing. What a start to the game.
I like this. And I mean, it also shows confidence on Fuse part, okay? Because I know it may have looked like a little bit of an int coming up from Camille, but again, this is a confident Camille saying like, let's just take the level 1, right? That takes a little bit of gusto. So I'm a bit confident that Sentient will have a good few chances this game to right the kill deficit formed by that aggression, as we do see him rock up the mid lane. These pings are out. There's a little bit of Nameless activity in the river. They do suspect something's going on. But yeah, it's early days. These guys are feeling each other out. This is going to be a lot of it. This is like, who's Nameless, who's Fuse? And that's the whole purpose of the series right now. It's for these guys to know who's got the strengths and weakness.
He's getting low, and there is no Bellow Breath available for a couple of seconds still on this Mordekaiser, and there's not many minions anyway to sacrifice to the tower. He gets the one, he'll be absolutely fine. That was getting a little bit closer than it should have, but you do have Rising making his way all the way up to there, and maybe he could get there in just in time. He might just be able to get that quick flash away from the Paul. However, he has stopped the back. The Jarvan is around the corner as well. This will be a bit of a risky one if the Wukong wants to stick around. Very good positioning from Raiden just to cut off that potential kill in the top side.
Yeah, it was aggression. I mean, Kaiser was sitting on half bar of shield as well, so he did have a little bailout there. As we do see a flash top. Hey!
Yes,
big
sir.
Horn, solo bolo. I see it. So yeah, commitment was worth it. Kaiser overstayed after the gank and punished for that. I mean, well played, Steve.
Scatter of the weak. Hookshot flashed away from Sentient. AP is playing the Camille, so you can't really back away, and therefore you're going to be going down. The kill is going to go over to Valet. Excited on the Jinx once again, as Nudi's left by himself for the second time around. Already in this laning phase. Very aggressive on those engages. Great reaction by Tommy.
Yeah, it was really good. I mean, flashless Jinx for 5 minutes means that they do have windows to punish. But again, I mean, they've got a comp that relies on it, you know, it's high risk, high rewards. The Camille goes in and they have to make it work. And I feel like you don't really get too many chances with that kind of combo. So Fuse just have to slow things down to get it right. Else, you know, Jinx is going to get super, super strong.
This is a level 6 Ornn. He does do quite a bit of damage, and more than just a bit. Wow, okay. Whew. That's a lot of kills now on an Ornn at a 5-minute game. And I think 2 kills is all that an Ornn really ever needs.
Yeah, but he's gone full damage. I mean, he's got no magic mantle. So, I mean, it makes sense that he's
that's
one-shot
it.
the Kaiser, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
mean,
I
love
missed
all-
it. I missed the Cosmic Binding. Nice Dragon Flag. We are seeing another kill. Who's going to pick this one up? The hook shot wasn't used. However, Raiden does have the flash. Nice Scatter of the Week to just allow enough time for the Sentient Ape to get out. And nobody is able to close that gap. That's going to be a Camille going back, however.
Yeah, pretty typical aggression coming out. Nice to see J4 trying to punish the constant aggression from Fuse. Obviously, did pacify that bot lane. I mean, Tom's in a good spot. He's got the early game gold now. First few team fights, he is going to be a nuisance. They are going to need flashes to get on top. And the fact that the Wukong flash is down, and of course the bot lane is missing flashes as well, mean that Jinx's flash window being down, it's not too punishable at the minute, so long as the warding's okay from Valet. We do see a little bit of jungler activity down there, but I mean, build-wise, man, nothing too scary on the board. I mean, typical stuff, mid on mid, farming up, tier coming out from the Rise. You know, I wouldn't be overly surprised if that was like Catalyst Seraphs, but we do see a gang potential on bot
Definitely.
lane, level 6 Nudie.
It's not the biggest of waves, but the hookshot goes through. The grenades will get that stun off. Nudi's not going to be able to go down, but Sentient Ape, it wants to just do enough damage until Valet goes down, flashing away from that one, but it's Rising on the Wukong. He's got the gap closer eventually. However, Aurora's coming around. Didn't have the cooldown available between the worlds for Foxy, as he doesn't quite hit the three-tail Fox in the end. However, one kill, just the reply for this flashless Jinx.
That's literally what I was saying. Seconds before chaos happens, they need to keep that vision super clean bot side, especially with Jinx being flashless, because Sentient is going for a triple longsword and has Halo Blades. So no AD carry survives that, especially Jinx being as immobile as that. So they do need to make sure the wards are down, and they do have to let this Jinx go.
Yeah, but it's a nice reply. It's a 1-for-1. It's a tower dive. Yes, you're denying quite a few minions, but that was already where a Syndra was being starved due to the fact that she had to play the laning phase 1v2 for the most part of this entire early part of the game. So, what do we have? We have Void Grubs coming up in about 40 seconds or so. We do see a potential roam coming out from Valet. I mean, he's already here, and that could be the next objective, as the dragon is yet to be picked up. 8 minutes into this game, and if we're thinking late game, who does it bite in the back the most? You've got a decent scaling Rise. Ornn is going to bring everybody with him. Jinx, I guess. So you got to be careful if you're Nameless. You don't want to give up too many dragons, especially in the early game, because you need them to match the late game that Fuse is throwing at Nameless.
Yeah, I mean, there's always a risk when it comes to mid-late games. Syndra's got a fantastic one-shot, and it's not just for AD carry. You know what I'm saying? If Bard misplays, Foxy misplays, even Rhydon, I suppose, would be a great engage. So there's loads of ways in for the Fuse comp in that late game. It's going to be a lot of stuff, a lot of lifting coming out from Nudie and Rising. I think they're going to be the playmakers. Obviously, the Ornn will do his bit in that all-in as well, but I'd like to see Fuse really setting up their carries, which they have done with that kill on Syndra. As we do see a lot of action bot side, and this is the, fourth roam from both junglers towards the bot lane, so a lot of love going bot.
Yeah, a lot of damage also landing onto Valet, and obviously he was trying to make that proactive play there until Raiden himself spotted Rising, and that's going to be called off right where it stands. However, that doesn't mean the dragon can't be started. It is going to be, as a matter of fact, and that's the first one. And because Rising is pathing towards topside for those Void Grubs, it's going to be a most likely trade for these objectives, but you are starting them a little bit later on Fuse. So does Rising have what it takes to actually take these 3 Void Grubs, or will he be matched?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a trade if you do see a
Nudie coming right in. Unleashed power, not enough damage, but the hookshot comes around the corner, and there's that swipe to pick up Valet, who, by the way, has been on the target list for Sentient Ape this entire game, and he's pretty much just getting a kill here and there. That's going to be the end of the mid skirmish. Rising won't be really retaliated on when it comes to the objectives. It's a trade.
Yeah, but like you said, you know, it's this meta, supports being hyperactive, both supports getting well, the supports have the highest deaths on each team and the highest KP. So I mean, they're doing bits, but I think the Grubs being picked up by Fuse is fantastic because, as you rightly said earlier on, they do suffer with Siege. So when they do have the small windows to Siege with the double caster, I think it's going to be crucial to get as much damage done. Oh, hello.
They're trading heavily. Now, they're going to survive for a little bit longer. Doggo gets the isolation Q, but you got Rising coming around with the Cyclone. Raiden is a little bit too far away, flashing away from the second proc on that Cyclone. However, it looks like he's got another one just to knock up the Jarvan, who wants to have a bit of a knock up himself. There's going to be a TP onto the flag itself as well. Nice. Volcanic Rupture, and then a Soaring Charge to destroy the Cataclysm, but there's the Between the Worlds coming out from Foxy. He's not done yet. He wants the 3-tail Fox, doesn't get the proc in the end to get that damage for a double kill, but does get one in the end.
Yeah, I think the all play was a bit ambitious from Foxy, to say the least.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a good gank coming out from Rising, coming from the Nameless jungle as well, which really spun out Mordekaiser. Flash to safety. A good reaction from the mid lane, obviously taking the TP, getting in there.
Oh, he goes right in. He wants to charge through. I wasn't even expecting that flash. Honestly, came out of nowhere. And Foxy does go down. It's going to be a 1-for-1 at the end of it all.
Just such a rich champion knowledge pool coming out from Linium on the Ornn. I mean, to use Brittle proc to break the leap, mid sort of leap, and just stun the Aurora is just such a I play a lot of Ornn thing to do, right? So clearly drafted well for the top of Fuse this game. And again, you know, people will say, you know, oh no, my tank's fed, but what happens? He's just going to be super unkillable, but we still need a lot of damage. But that is so much pressure. That's so much more that he can do for the team. He can get more vision. You know, it all comes together. So him being fed is a really, really good idea for Fuse. Granted, I know they'd wager, like, they'd want it to be like 3 kills on Wukong, but it's not wasted on Ornn, is what I mean to say.
Exactly, yes. It would be nice to put it on something like the Wukong, the Rise even. A tank eventually just peaks, and it does what it will always do. No matter if you're ahead, if you're behind. Obviously, it helps to have a few levels on your opponent, and right now that's 2. 1 in the end. That level ticked in the end for the Doggo. Yeah, no, he's trying to catch me off guard here. But it's got to be a slight advantage in the end. As Scopes is being focused down in the mid lane, Raiden doesn't quite get the position for that engage. However, you do see Sentient Ape just hovering. There is a control board in that bush. That's so much damage onto Scopes, walking into the brush blind, and he will feel the wrath of it.
Yeah, I think Scopes is super chill with this game, the way the pace is going.
Hextech ultimatum, however, the commit was getting a little bit too low. We got Rising coming around to try and reply to this engage. Scopes not really going to be able to match this one, as Raiden, none other but himself, gets the kill onto Scopes. That's a 1-for-2 in the end. Syndra did pick up that kill as well, as a lot of people are in this mid lane as we speak. 1-for-2 nonetheless for Nameless.
Just extraordinary roams from the bot lane of Fuse, right? I feel like the team fights have all been tipped over the edge with that Syndra roam, the pick earlier on the Bard, and again getting Foxy shut down. I mean, Nameless just...
There was a ward in that brush. But Tommy, there's no ult, there's a barrier. He might just have enough damage until the mace slams downtown and does remove the threat. But that was getting a little bit too close. Rising, playing on the urge of risk.
Nice that Rising sort of breaks the kill-less run, because I think he was in a lot of these fights and everything just got slightly away, the gank top and mid. But, you know, he's on the board now. Trinity Force Wukong is always a nightmare to deal with when you're in melee. And again, you know, Tom backing on that ward, thinking that the recall was going through. Pretty good acting from Rising to get into melee before, like, going, but you were on the ward the whole time. Really good gap close coming out. And it has yielded a kill. So Wukong is on the board. We got long swords coming out, and the next Drake is up. Fuse are going to be in a position to fight for this.
Yes, I would presume so. Now, most of that gold is actually still sitting on the gold, on the Ornn. A lot of that advantage in the top side. So unless Linium wants to be joining this dragon fight, it's a square even one. But I don't presume either of the teams are going to be threatened by that at all. They want to grab their dragons. Nameless is going to be starting it already, dragging out the dragon from the pit, and it's going to make it so much harder to close this gap. Being on the red side, you do have a better advantage approaching the pit until perhaps some sort of retaliation. No, it's not going to happen. That's 2 dragons already grabbed by Nameless.
I think Fuse definitely had that we're going to deal with this dragon, but I think they underestimated how quick that was going to get started. Jinx as well has a lot of damage. Hex Optics picked up with crit. Jarvan as well with the passive, that percentage, bonus damage on the big creeps can really catch people off guard. So a good dragon by Nameless, and I think Fuse, they'll have to just tighten up on the warding, and if they need to make this work that way.
No flash on Scopes between worlds, gets the Cataclysm in his face, and that might just be it. It's just a matter of time, really, as a topside play, cross-map play, but it's an objective for a kill and a tower for Nameless that they're just going to be able to pick themselves up without anybody here to really stop them. Honestly, really good tempo coming out from the bot side play here.
It is good. I think Ryze is a bit of a weak side warrior in the sense that his scaling comes largely from itemization. I don't think I've seen a Ryze suffer late game. He's built exactly as you'd expect. Full mana pool, lots of damage, but we do have
I've seen this before. And we do have the
ult. Hold on.
It's deja vu. Rising is definitely pathing and trying to help out his only carry on the team. It's the Ornn, it's the hyper carry. Everybody wants it. Everybody, once they get it, is very pleased. I mean, Linium is surviving in a realm of death. He's having a decent time. That's going to be an ability cooldown. Hold on, pause that thought. Valet has arrived. Cosmic Binding doesn't connect, having to flash away from the three-tailed fox as Foxy himself does have a lot of damage. Already completed the Luden's Echo, has a needlessly large rod as well. This is a very scary Aurora.
Yeah, again, with what they demand from the mids is going to be very different this game. Obviously, Scope's opting for the let me scale versus the Foxy. I'm going to be everywhere. I mean, it favors both teams at different times. Now it looks great.
Yes.
Foxy's about the map, abandoning a lot. We've got a CS lead coming out for Scopes. He's looking comfortable. He's way above 10 CS a minute at the minute. This guy is going to cook late game, regardless of what the KDA says.
There is no flash. However, Mordekaiser under the tower does have the shield to help him out, and he does have the Bard as well around the corner, so even more help coming his way. However, maybe Bard staying a little bit too long. There is a blast cone. He doesn't need to use it. However, Ryzen going in very deep. He wants to get something out of this engage. Doesn't really get CC'd at all, dodging both the knock-up and the pull from the Mordekaiser, and will stay alive. However, that tower won't for too much longer.
Yeah, good press coming out. It was a big Cosmic from Valet to get the Wukong and the teammate snared in one. So that was pretty handy. Did give himself a lot of time to get the portal out. Rising taking the portal, though. There's two golden rules of League.
Yeah.
Don't take the portal from Bard and don't chase the Sins. And I've not been told that. I've learned it the hard way. But, I mean, it's a very well made... This is what we like to see. 8-8
and don't focus Shaco.
Both teams shaking off. They're shaking off the nerves now. You know what I'm saying? Everyone's got their kills. Things are starting to shape up. I will guarantee you in the next few minutes, we will see a fight with a significant impact in the game.
Yes, and I think at this point in the game, Nameless is very scary. They are peaking, they've got so much coming for themselves, and you just need to think about what flashes are on cooldown when it comes to Fuse. Not many, it's only Linium on the Ornn, and that's a target that you don't really care much about whether he has a flash or not, especially when he can just remove the Cataclysm from the Jarvan with his charge, which he did in the top lane. That was quite a nice little interaction. It didn't result in a kill. Hold on a minute. We do have a very aggressive play onto Nudie, who is just baiting a lot. Hextech ultimatum onto Tommy. He doesn't have a flash. He may just go down. Already won. As no, he's still alive. He's going to be able to stick around for a little bit longer. It's a 1-kill-4. Where's the rocket going? It's connecting. That's going to be a 1-for-1, right? And however, having to flash away from that. Another flash matching it. Going right in. Does he get the kill? Yes, he does. Between the worlds, Foxy does have the tower by his name. Now, Doggo coming out of the realm of death. Who's death? His own, as he's left behind by his entire team. And just add a herald and an ambulance across the road because they need saving.
Somebody get an ambulance before Nameless after that fight. Oh, hold on. I mean, he's
Rising, man.
Dragon.
You're giving me anxiety.
Yeah, I was gonna say Infernal 20 seconds off. That was a big cojones bit of piloting coming out from the jungler of Fuse. And I mean, this is what makes that comp so scary. Miscommunication from the bot lane of Nameless. Bard tried to ult the Jinx to relieve pressure, but Jinx flashes the Bard ult, the collapse goes through, Call of the Forge God goes through, and it is just murder. There is no second chances. Fuse have a beautiful shotgun comp. You do not
Yeah.
get a second chance. If they engage and a stun hits one, that person is done.
Oof. And this dragon is done as well. I think this one's going to be just given over. And it's a wise decision because Nameless actually has some sort of priority in the mid lane. And remember, they have Siege. Now, there is a Realm Warp coming around the corner. That's 3 members coming through. But is it enough? Cole of the Forge God not really knocking up anybody. Saintient Ape doesn't go down, but the Jinx does. Linium doesn't want to slow down. However, he doesn't get no knock up. So they're going to have to. Ola of Fuse members charged right in. They got one target, they saved the tower, and they're still happy with a dragon pickup.
A pretty chaotic sort of 3 minutes for Tom. You know, the win con for Nameless. You know, he's been caught twice. Really tricky. And I mean, I say he's been caught, but that's more of a team problem, okay? Because you have to create situations where the AD carry is safe at all times. If there is a window that Fuse takes, everybody's to blame somewhat. So Nameless have to tighten up. They have to protect his AD carry. And again, we do see Jinx without flash. There's a long time before she could take care of herself. They need to change things up.
They do indeed. Foxy is very nimble, very flexible when it comes to being in a side lane. You can't punish something like an Aurora as easily as you can maybe perhaps a Mordekaiser or a Jinx. Of course, that's all down to the gap closers that... How many dashes, man, on an Aurora, right? So, again, the light at the end of this tunnel is still something like this Jinx, the Aurora. They are, by all means, not having a bad game. It's just positioning correctly in the actual team fights that do matter to make the most out of your leads and make the most out of your kit and your champions, because at the end of the day, you've got an Ornn to deal with who is scaling the rest of his team, which already has a Rise, already has a Camille and a Syndra. That's a lot of scaling. That's a lot of late game pressure for the side of Fuse. And as you can see, Rising already getting quite confident, walking right into the topside jungle. And because the topside tower is very low as well, it's going to be visited by pretty much everybody just to defend it.
I was going to say, hey, these guys love to throw a party. No one doesn't get an invitation to these plays. You know what I'm saying? It's hey, 5 people top. I'll see your 5 people top. We'll see 10 top lane. But again, I largely think that this is sort of like that early split nerves where there's something on the map. It's like, coming out, quick. Don't lose. This is all part of that process where these teams are going to start easing into their macro process. And it's early days.
Yes.
It's his first game. And again, nobody likes to drop a first game.
No, that's true. First game is, followed. Oh, we got Doggo. Mentioned side lane Doggo on a Mordekaiser, unless he can deal with that Realm of Death. Hold on a minute, he does do a lot of damage, but Rising is going to go down. That's going to be a 1 for something, I guess, until the pull away, flashing away from the Cole of the Forge God. He's out. The Madman, he's done it. He's out. That's going to be a very good pickup, especially with this play in the top side for Nameless.
Well, I really didn't expect that to happen because obviously we had 0-3-0 Kaiser, but again, it's League of Legends, and who am I to say that?
Going in, Scopes having to flash away. There is an Aurora trying to use the Cole of the... Hold on a minute, Raiden is getting a little bit too low for his liking as Scopes does go golden, and the rest of the crew, and that's Nudie. He's arrived, however, he's now chunked down. Didn't hit the Scatter of the Week, does go for the hook shot. When it comes to Foxy, it's all about the 1 auto attack. He's going to flash away from a sphere, and he gets the kill with the Bard. Also around the corner, Foxy's going right in across the field, goes invisible, defends the tower will stand.
Yeah, I mean, definitely give me Solo Q Camille vibes, I'm not gonna lie. All in 24/7. But it has worked, okay? There have been Fuse members enabled, but they have to be slightly more deliberate. These kills slipping through the net, they're going to the wrong people. Good answer from Fuse on the top, though. They do shut down the Rhydon gank. There was a lot going on, a lot of moving parts. But Foxy getting a kill at the end of that. I think Scopes lived, though. So again, I couldn't really tell you who came out ahead.
He did. And honestly, the cross-map plays from Nameless, they're flawless right now. It's time and time again, they come out on top in the cross-map plays. And then if it's a 5v5 somewhere, then Fuse gets the better outcome here as Valet maybe caught out. However, there is a magical journey having to flash away from the Scatter of the Week. That's a flash. you no longer have available just before the dragon spawns. Of course, it could be a soul point for Nameless, or it could be the second dragon for Fuse. And with that flash, now picking up all of the vision as well. Scratch the vision. I think Fuse is all about the push. And they've got a very scary Ornn in the front line, who did use the ultimate maybe a little bit too proactively there. Not really available now, as Foxy does pick himself up a tower in the top side again. Cross-map plays are right now for Nameless, even in this play as we speak. The dragon is going to be picked up by Fuse, but at what cost, really? Foxy's TPing over. That's a flank coming his way. Linium's going to be focused. However, it's an Ornn. The dragon does go down eventually, but there's that siege that we've talked about that Fuse doesn't really have. That's a nice tempered fate. I don't think Syndra is going to be holding onto that flash any longer than she should. Nobody goes down, but a good amount of pressure from Nameless.
It was a good roam. Again, though, the Bard Flash lost so much vision, they had to give up the Drake. And like you said, it was an Infernal Drake. It's a good Drake to get. It is a shame that they are losing that. I mean, Ornn caught 60 rockets. That doesn't change much when it comes to Ornn. But escaped by the Rise. I mean, Scopes has done that before. It's just another day is Super Rise.
Yeah, it is.
And he takes the golem as well. Go on.
Oh, what a goat. However, it's not going to save at least. Did that tower? That tower was already down. Never mind. So it's going to be just resets, really. I don't think there's much else that you really need to do. Picking up that dragon where nothing else. 2 towers did go down for Nameless. However, these are tier 1s at a 26-minute game. Eventually, they have to fall, as all things do. And it's time for them to meet the fate of the others. There's only tier 2s available on the map as we speak now, so that's going to open up the entire map. There's going to be a lot of available space for anybody and anything to happen on this map, especially for these supports. You got a Bard and a Camille. Let's remember, they love to get aggressive into the very back lines. Cancelling. That's a Hextech ultimatum. You can't escape that. Even when you're Bard, the magical portal won't take you anywhere, but the hook shot was very nice. That's going to be a blast cone, and Realm actually being used onto none other but Sentient Ape. The Baron is half HP. Where's the rest of Nameless? You got the Jarvan coming around with a flank. This is a 4v5. Remember, Scopes does get zapped. He's thinking about a bit of a 1v1 between himself as the Jarvan doesn't get Scatter of the Weak. There's that Rocket. Who's going to get the Baron? It's all about Sentient Ape trying to deny it. He goes in, but a little bit too early. Raiden's removed. Nobody else has the smite, but Rising, and it will be Fuse that pick up the Nasher.
Yeah, Fuse badly needed that. It was a really, really good play. They committed to that Baron call straight off the Valet pick. Super good decisive movement. Nameless sort of half and half there. Obviously, they didn't commit Foxy. They didn't call him back instantly. It was a jungle flip, which is always a little bit of a flip. But, I mean, commendable attempt from Rhydon. But again, it's a bonus kill. And this is a Fuse roster that needed scaling. Bonus kills will definitely help. Rise is pretty much online now. The actualizer's there as well for bonus damage. These next 2 combos are gonna rock.
Yeah, and guys, this is a debut for Nameless within Div 2. They are having I will say, this is an impressive game thus far, but the time is against them. It's ticking, so if I was them, I'd keep on pushing out those side waves and keep playing in those side lanes, because they really have been having a decent time. However, now they have to deal with a Baron buff, and it's going to be a little bit harder to reply onto it, especially when there's 2 fronts rushing into your base as we speak. Scopes on a rise, picking up a whole tower to himself is, I'd say, a bit of a misposition for Nameless. Not really something that you want to allow to happen unless that tower was very low. But now the bot side tower is also pretty much out of its way for Fuse, who is not done yet. Going in, Call of the Forge God does get a 2-man free. Tempered, however, slows down a little bit, but there's so many members, so many health bars going down alongside the towers, doing so much onto Fuse. Does Nameless have enough to take them out before the towers do? And I think Nameless is going to be able to reply onto it, too aggressively charging it into the base where you don't really have 2 feet to stand on. Still fighting for their lives, and Nameless will come out on top of it, almost getting an ace.
It was a crazy all-in, and I think Fuse had the right idea. I just think the timing was a little bit off because they all sent it for the Jinx, and there was still a lot of moving parts that Nameless had to really flip that fight. The Bard was tangling up, you know, rising way, way back in the back line. Foxy wasn't even looked at, and he's a big damage dealer. Mordekaiser did get a little bailout that fight as well, getting the shutdown off the Ornn. So, I mean, you know, Jinx did die, but the front line gets a buff. And that's always an issue when you're playing a comp that pressures the AD carry. So, I mean, fantastic push by Fuse. Baron used wisely, you know. 2 T2s, bot is on 1 HP, mid is on 1 plate. So, I mean, it wasn't wasted, just an unfortunate end. Well done to Nameless for holding on.
And very fortunate for Nameless, man, because this is at the perfect time. They've got a dragon. This is a soul point. You can't really match it. I mean, you could have if you went towards that direction, but instead Fuse is thinking about a play in the top side. They're going to be removing a few camps at the cost of a whole dragon. This is one more before you get a soul for Nameless, and that's a crazy position to be, especially into something like an Ornn and a Rise, because you slow them down as Camille is feeling a little bit funky with her steps and does get out just fine.
Blast Cone betrayals, man. It's happened in pro games. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, you know, it's like, you know, in The Lion King, he's holding on, and it's like the paws getting pushed off one by one. Except it's a teammate. Watch those blast cones, guys. Okay, don't be griefing teams with blast cones. There's better ways to lose games, but nothing came of it. I mean, Camille's such a slippery customer, and Mordekaiser equally slippery as he's he seems to be navigating his way out slowly but surely.
Yeah. I mean, by the way, speaking of Mordekaiser, he's got 2,000 gold up on the Ornn now. I mean, you'd expect it, and Mordekaiser, and it's an order. You got an engage onto Nudie. He's caught out. However, he does have the Hourglass. Tempered Fate. Super Mega Death Rocket going through all 3 members who don't really have a Jarvan now to protect Nameless. This is a 5v4. We are quite late into this game, so if Fuse is willing to go right in, I think they should be pushing. However, they're not going to be committing onto this tempo that they may have acquired off the back of that play. Instead, the resets come out.
Yeah, there's a lot of annoying champs still unmarked. I mean, they sending it up the mid makes it kind of difficult for Fuse. They want to get this vision fully established before they commit to single-handedly shoving a lane. So it kind of makes sense that they kind of just take the lead. They want to reset the tempo. They've got their hard engage without flash at the minute, which is what they really need to get on top of the Jinx. So it's not a bad time to stall out. Baron wasn't up as well, so they couldn't really take any objective pressure. So, yeah, I mean, good pick. Rhydon super overextend. Bard tries to peel with the ult. Ends up just 33 golden after he dies, and the game goes on. But again, Fuse showing they've got fangs. They will take the chances given the time.
Yeah. Now, it's interesting because Wukong at this point is just a glorified engage button. That's all he ever will do in a 32-minute game. But he's also got a lot of it's like sequenced damage. There's a lot of burst from something like the Syndra, but it's not like it's a Jinx that can kite away nicely and things like that. I think where I'm going with this is that it's not a traditional comp on Fuse, so they will have to play it in a untraditional manner at this point when it comes to League of Legends as a whole. And you still have a Mordekaiser that's just holding on to one button. And if he presses that on a Rise who's currently 1.5k gold up, then that money is wasted for Fuse. They don't have that burst damage. Nudie's not going to be able to stick around for too much longer because he's been engaged on by the Jarvan time and time again. I really like the focus on Nameless. They just need to put their money right where their mouth is now. The Baron is being started as Saintient Ape does get the control ward, so it does notice everybody half HP on the Nasher. However, it will be disengaged on because this is a 5v5. A bit of a flip as he does use the Below Breath. However, is it enough flashing in onto the backline? Tommy's engaged on. Call of the Forge got onto so many members, and that's going to be a Tempered Fate slowing down the inevitable. That's a double kill. Nice flag and drag from Rhydon, but is it going to be enough as the Cyclone comes around? And there's Scopes with a double kill of his own. There is no minions, so it will take a little bit longer as Nudie's now looking for a 1v1. One level down. He's got the golden hourglass, but he's not going to stay alive either for too much longer. Hold on. Oh, maybe not in the end. One auto attack, and the Rust will give enough gold for Foxy to be happy enough about this exchange, but topside needs help.
100%. They have to get these wards down for Jinx. There's always a Camille flying in, and that's all it is at the minute. That was pretty much a solo Camille engage. And I mean, the build chunks out. That's a 4-item Jinx. They just have to keep the Jinx alive for one reset. It can even be the Camille. Like, Camille could lose the game with one of those engages, but once again, Sentient doing his bit, knows his limits, and takes a beautiful engage. Puts the pressure on the backline. The Bard ult, designed to sort of relieve pressure, actually hard CCs, and lets Rising get a 3-man Cyclone. So when they came out of Golden, I think they'd have wished they had a second Zhonya's ready. Talking of, Zhonya's everywhere coming out from Fuse now, which closes the reset windows. We've got the two sort of immobile mages getting it now, so they are going to have to be very selective with these dives. Jarvan is a fantastic engage, but if Nameless overcommits to a Zhonya's, it could be a big issue.
Linium leading the charge. He does get engaged on, and it looks like a nice flag coming on from Foxy. That's so many low members. He's going right back in. Nice Tempered Fate. This could be the one for Nameless. If they could just pick everybody up from Fuse, this is game over. It could be just it. Double kill for Foxy. He's the one who's done it. The madman himself. That's a triple kill. Rising, the only one standing in front of so many members. Foxy and the crew have scored an ace. That's going to be the last one of the game, and it will take us to game 2 with such a great turnaround by Nameless.
I'm not going to lie, I genuinely thought there was a time of death this game. That Foxy ultimate was actually so disgusting, but I can't even. But again, you know, that's the risk you run. One open door, Jinx has got the resets, the passive's going crazy. What a game 1, man. And both teams, I think they touched the trophy that game, you know? So, good league.
Oh.
Good league.
Oh my god. Okay, so I've been told, okay, and I didn't want to jinx anything walking into this game, but I've been told there's a certain GOAT in this mid lane, and that's Foxy, just living up to his name, because that game-ending play right there, finding both the Rise and the Nudie on the Syndra. Wow, okay, that is an amazing way to enter that game too. Now, it's going to be down to Fuse, trying to think, right, do we continue with this mage sort of meta-reliant comp? Because a Jinx and the rest of Nameless have been able to do just fine on the classic sort of approach onto that game. But what an ending, man. That was stellar, man. That was really good.
Juicer. A big old ult, mate. A big old. We like the one-shot ults, but yeah, I mean, you know, Fuse errors. That's what it was. Errors.
Yeah.
I think if the Camille fight level 2 goes well, we're looking at a different Syndra. We're looking at a different fights throughout the game. There was loads of little issues that are easy fixes. It definitely wasn't a hand stiff. It was one ult, by the way. This is just a credit to Foxy, by the way. What an ultimate.
Yeah.
But again, very well matched game. Fuse were in a position to close it out, taking Barons, doing things. This was a good game from Fuse. This wasn't a Nameless runaway. This wasn't a Fuse runaway. It was literally one ult. And like we said before, when a game gets to that 35-40 minute mark, it is just one ult. Foxy had his finger on the off first this time around, man. But if somebody came in this room, held a gun to my head and said, who's taking the series? I'd still say I have no idea.
Yeah, no, I know. It's definitely up for the grab for anybody really at this point. But Nameless is 1 foot through the door, and they are definitely very happy about it. That's a lot of pressure off their shoulders, so to say. And again, that's a Jinx. Let me just say, there was a 4-man kill at a similar point in the game for Fuse. They didn't have the siege. They didn't have the side lane pressure. There was no minions for them to push with. And even if they did have it, they can't outmatch a Jinx siege. And they lacked that factor on their comp, which was, at the end of the day, Foxy was the one to sort of begin the crumbling of the base, and Tommy finished it with those autos, man. That is a great game to finish it off on. We're going to be back after this break to find out exactly where this next draft is going to take us. Don't go nowhere. We'll be back.
This is what you came for. Blood on the game bowl. Everybody drop it like rainfall. This is your moment. Eyes on a bumper. Can't think, just
sorry. I can't lose myself again. Help me raise this heart. I'm brave. Once you play God, but once you play God, they're gonna crumble one by one. Then we gon' ride into the sun like it's the day my kingdom come. Once you play God, once you play God, they're gonna crumble one by one. Then we gon' ride into the sun like it's the day my kingdom come. Baby, once you play.
Don't try to make yourself remember, darling. Don't look for me, I'm just a story you've been told. So let's pretend a little longer, 'cause when we're gone, everything goes on. You were staring at the window, and I said, I'll just bring this to you. But if I was gone tomorrow, won't the waves crash on? Is it selfish that I'm happy as we pass the setting sun? Someday I'll be overcast, but you won't have to cry, 'cause we'll do the grieving while I'm by your side. I said, don't try to make yourself remember, darling. Don't look for me, I'm just a story you've been told. So let's pretend a little longer, 'cause when we're gone, everything goes on. And I'm so scared of getting used to this. All the vines that keep you tethered in your room. You said I'm sorry that you worry, don't apologize. I told you to forget me, but you stayed by my side when I said, don't try to make yourself remember, darling. Don't look for me, I'm just a story you've been told. So let's pretend a little longer, and when we're gone, everything goes on.
Not afraid to die, type to make it cry, type to put a price all up on your head. Do just what I said. I'm a straight up villain, straight up villain. Yeah, no feeling, yeah, no feeling. Straight up villain, straight up villain. Yeah, no feeling, yeah, no feeling. Alive, but I'm dead. Hear my voice up in your head. Watch it fill you full of dread till you go. Is it really a surprise if I'm playing with your mind and I treat you like a prize and I throw you to the side? And am I really that bad if I love to make you mad and get happy when you're sad? Only care about
It's time to run it back. What a first game we just witnessed. Run it back. We're back. By the way, I saw that stream that you did on UKEL and the glass. Whose idea was it with the glasses?
No, it was.
So
I
cool.
think it was Nick said, "Shall we put on sunglasses?" And then I was like, "I have the perfect pair. Let's run it." Credit to Nick V, by the way, actual diva.
Hell yeah. Yes, he is. I saw him casting in the studio live in person yesterday on Road of Legends. My guy's living the life right now. Without the sunglasses, unfortunately, he didn't have those on again. But mate, like when you put his on, Terminator. And then you forgot to say, "We'll be right back." And
oh man, it cooked me. I was the saddest guy out of all, by the way. I was like,
We'll be
because I
back.
sat in the green room and everyone was like, I read Twitch chat and it was like, I'm gonna be so disgusted if FaZe doesn't say I'll be back when he leaves. And I didn't. I was like,
And you
I
didn't.
can't go
I
back.
was there. And I was like, he didn't say it. I was gutted, man. I was gutted. And then obviously you came back and you delivered the line when you were back. I don't know if that's legal.
It was garbage.
It's
then,
fine.
bro. Yeah, it's Terminator.
Yeah.
It was like
Moment's
Terminator
gone.
4. I needed to be Terminator 2, the prime
Oh,
Terminator.
mate.
That's right.
Mate,
bro.
bring back the good old days, man. Anyhow, bringing back the games. We got game 2 coming up our way, and Nameless is one away from doing the best start an org can ever even dream of going into a brand new Division 2 Benelux Ascent restart. Like, these guys are literally just a couple of dozen minutes away from living their best life. And Fuse is going to have to stand their ground if they even want to consider having a win for themselves, because they're not one game away, they're 2. This is a best of 3. This is a fearless. And of course, anything that you saw on the draft last series is no longer available for the entire series. And quite a few of those pressing priorities, right? The Camille, the Bard, you've got that Syndra off the books. Like, those are your bread and butters right now in the current meta, the Bard especially. So what's gonna happen, man? What's gonna happen?
I mean, luckily, well, I say luckily, I kind of wish like the bans remove champs as well, but that's because we commentate. I'd love to see people on like some real D tier stuff or like digging out some crazy comps, like I don't know, like Ignite Yorick or something top lane. But we are sort of we're a slave to the best picks. Orianna was banned out, so she's back in next game, and she's a pretty good staple pick. I know Scopes is available. Fantastic. Victor, he sneaks around. There's busted champs still in the mix, do you know what I'm saying? But a few of these sort of staple engages, J4 and Wukong, they're sort of like junglers' best friends. I think every jungler's had a good run on either. So I'd be cool to see the boys mix it up. Nocturne got banned, so Nocturne's coming through potentially as well. Orianna Nocturne, the first sort of liable combo that comes to mind. But there's more to League than that. I mean, you know, we will likely see more bans going Foxy's way. Aurelion Soul ban again for the Doggo, taking that away. I'd imagine we'd see Nocturne Victor bans coming out from Victor ban coming from Nameless. So yeah, there's room. Yeah, there is room.
There is definitely, because not only Scopes, but Nudie can also be flexing that one, whoever picks that up. So Mel, Graves makes sense. Rising, pretty much one of those Graves players that you do not want to have in solo queue, because you're gonna beg Riot Games to reduce 15 to 10 surrender time and like get me out of this one. It's going to be a Varus instead. So you do have that B1 available for the side of Nameless, as of course we're switching sides. Fuse is on the red side now. Picking in pairs is the red side bread and butter. You are picking straight away. You're given a lot of information in those picks, as you do for the first two. But for the first one, Nameless, they'll have to start thinking about their first.
Orianna ban came out really late, which is cool for Fuse. They don't want to give that away. Okay, I don't think Orianna's the most broken state she's in, but she's just got so much synergy in the dive meta, like you say, supports forcing so many fights. One mistake without vision. Somebody didn't see the ball laying in the brush. It's a 5-man shockwave. The game's just flipped on its head, right? And Foxy, one of the playmakers. Potential flex coming out for Nameless. I know Doggo has played Rumble. I know... Actually, no. Do you know what? I used to love playing Jungle Rumble way back. And I had the Rumble in the jungle skin. What a time to be alive, by the way. Heat juggling in the base. First blue buff, overheat, one-shot the blue. Clear time was crazy.
What?
Bring back Gold Rumble.
That was a thing?
It was good. It was great.
That sounds like something I do not want to see. We do have the Victor Harvard, which is going to be locked in the end as well. Whether Fuse wants to be giving away their second mage or potentially not having a second mage. Are they going to be now leaning towards just a classical, good old AD carry sort of comp here? Nonetheless, we're gonna find out. So yeah, a bit of a flex on both sides. You don't know. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if maybe Tommy even whipped out the Rumble down to the bot lane, right? Because that flamethrower could be doing quite a lot into something like a Victor. You never know. You never know. Rising is gonna be locking in Linium's case. Sante. Yes, sir.
I'll say it for you, and for anybody wondering, I think Tom would likely go AFK if he was given Rumble. He's a clicky guy. He doesn't like abilities, Tom, you know what I'm saying? If the hyper carry's got a couple of spells, he gets a little bit of a cold sweat. So I picture something a bit more hyper carry coming out. Trundle's an interesting pick, does sort of diffuse that all in, that Victor King. Well, it also traps Victor a bit as well when he's flashless. It's a difficult pillar to escape. We do see Ambessa Harvard, so we could be okay, change to Hui. We've seen lots of Foxy on Hui against Scopes, by the way. This matchup, I've played. I think the boys played Scopes when he was in Arrakis, and they played Victor Hui. So this is like a throwback mid. They've had this game. They've played this mid before.
Hold on. Who is this? They played against Scopes. Who has? Sorry.
Yeah, the nameless guys. So Foxy as mid has played against Scopes before.
No way! I didn't know this.
Yeah,
This is some deep history here that I'm behind on, man. What the hell? That's cool. That's very cool. So that's going to be a Hui lock-in. It could be down in the bot lane. You never know. But again, like you said, we've got Tommy on those clicky hyper carries. You might not like... Yeah, maybe, yeah. So we do indeed have a hover for the Zinzao, which is a little bit easier to get into the backline. Speaking of getting into the backlines, Vi instead will be locked in. And Rising playing the Vi, I've seen it. He I believe is the best Vi that I've seen in a couple of games, scrims, weeks. I don't know how far I want to push it.
You got to give it more than that, mate. Not a couple of games. Come on, Dom. That's crazy.
As soon as I said, I was thinking, he had one good Vi game and that was it, you know. No, hold on.
Best Vi in my match history.
I did not sell Rising at all. He's all right. Yeah, he's fine. Wow. Okay, well, bring it back. He does make me believe in the champion again, because oftentimes I am disappointed in the rosters when they lock in the Vi's. So that's something to keep your eye out on. However, you do have a Trundle, and Trundle works amazingly into something like a heavy melee champ, something like the Vi with the pillar. Once you stick on top of them, you're not going nowhere. You can deny the Vault Breaker with your pillar. I guess you can escape it after the fact unless he body blocks you. The Seasoned Assist, that's going to be something that will certainly be flying into the backline for Foxy to be aware of.
100%. And I mean, again, this is Fuse going for that we're about to put the door through comp. They've got the peel this time with K'Sante as well, so they have got the front sorted out. Caitlyn's a cool pickup. Again, it is always tricky blinding. The entire bot lane for Nameless has been held back, so they will have the luxury of playing around this, maybe going for something that can really close the gap. They've got hyper carries like, Sivir, or if they could even maybe play Kaisar on a hard engage comp if they wanted something on Valet to really engage. Sivir is coming out, which is okay. I don't think it's going to win bot lane, but it is a reliable AD carry. The spell shield is good for the Vault Breaker, and also Cease and Desist can cleanse that off. So, I mean, it's a safe pick. It's a safe pick.
It definitely is. It's one of those champs. It's either a Xayah, it's either a Sivir that is just like a straight up reply into something like this Vi. However, you can't really spell block the auto attacks, and there's a sniper down in the bot lane. A lot of range. It's a bully. Sivir does have great wave clear. She's going to be able to sort of defend herself because there's no minions shoving into the lane, and especially if you have something like the Braum. And you know what? Braum, take the stage. No need for the cameras here because he is the macho man. It's going to be, honestly, a very nice and safe lane. I like it. It's gonna push the late game of a Sivir a little bit better than anything else down there matched by a Nico or Fuse.
See, this is what Fuse needed in this comp, because I thought for a second that they would have had to pick up the Nico because the Braum otherwise will have so much value. If Nico can engage and ult and root people where they are, prevent that Braum from getting into the optimal spot, really putting chaos down right before the Vi ultimate, it's going to be a nightmare to deal with. Fuse are going to have to be on it with those Nico engages late game. And Nameless did have a lot of times last game where they were struggling with vision. You know, the Jinx getting one shot tens of times. This is the support you don't want to be playing against when that's the key issue. They do have a lot of go, but once again, you know, with Fuse, this is a nasty comp to kite back. Once the Vi flies in the line, the Rumble Equalizer's got a nice path, so that can be an issue. The Trundle Pillar can be an issue when you're trying to follow the Vi. If somebody flashes away, the Braum E as well. So they really have to take the all-ins when they can confidently follow through. And that's going to be the make or break this game for sure.
Absolutely, they will have to commit. If they don't, then if you're playing on the back foot, you might as well already think about what you're going to be buying once you are down, because there's nothing else that you can do. So they do have the all-in, and they have to think about what Nameless has. And Nameless is quite ranged in the matchups here. They've got the Rumble, I guess, but once he starts overheating, you don't want to be anywhere near that melee form either. Especially up in that top side for the K-Sante. I guess it's a weak side lane. You're sort of just buying your time into these team fights. It's all about that, presumably. So it's about where the junglers are going to go. So we've got a Vi, we've got a Trundle. Most likely pathing towards, I will say, playing for the mid lane would make a lot of sense. Playing for Foxy, you kind of want to allow him to have a decent laning phase, and he is going into the Victor. There is a lot of that range that's going to be constantly trading between these two with the laser, with the artillery sort of idea that the Hui champion design is. But I don't see all that much roaming from these mid laners as opposed to maybe something like an Aurora that we saw last game, or the Rise. So they're a little bit more grounded this time around, and this time around is a swap around. Nameless on the blue side, Fuse on the red. Fuse is here for quite a long time if they want to see the light of day at the end of this series. However, Nameless only needs to play their cards right now, and then they have a clean series to start off the summer split.
Do you remember when blue side was the best side, Dom? When everyone used to rush pick blue?
Yeah.
Those are the days, eh? Everyone loves red now because they get those 2 guaranteed picks, and they do get the counter, and they do get the composition from blue side mapped out. I mean, yeah, you're right, man. Fuse have got
easier
2
dragons
games ahead of them. If they want to get this done, it's fully capable. They're fully capable, pardon me. It is all going to come down to how much these AD carries can be enabled. Again, Braum, Nico, they're just crazy playmaking supports. The Pot Blossom is a crazy ultimate. Caitlyn in this bot lane has the range advantage. They do have the opportunity to really put Tommy behind.
Yes, they absolutely do. So Tommy's idea of this laning phase is just to spray and pray, get that boomerang shot, get the ricochet value every single minion wave, and the Braum is just supposed to stand right by the side of Tommy to deny any of those 2 ranged bullies. I mean, a Caitlyn and a Nico into a Braum, you're just asking for trouble, right? So you got to be careful how you're going to plan this laning phase out. Unless you got ganks coming your way, if you're nameless, you certainly need to be thinking about everything. The timers on the backs, if you want to play for the scuttles, the roams, all of that is going to be very much in Fuse's advantage. And you already got two of the junglers actually, as we see, pathing for the bot lane. And of course, yes, when the two Gromp and the Krugs in the top side spawn, you still can gank the top side. But for the most part, I do expect a lot of ganks coming away in the bot side of the map.
I also think that Nameless are kind of on the clock this game, because we saw last game, Linium was just so good at taking the aggro from everyone. Like, everyone was just hitting the Ornn for like 3 weeks. Now, Nameless don't really have anything that can take that kind of punishment. So the later this game goes, the more that Fuse can lean into that super tank top. Rumble's gonna be looking on saying, guys, I know I'm a little tanky. I've got Sonya's potentially if he gets there, but I can't stop this K'Sante. So, you know, Fuse do have that fallback. They've got that fantastic front line, the Stonewall to come out. They really need to make sure that Rumble doesn't get ahead this game and really sort of set back the K'Sante to the point where his tankiness is outclassed by the damage from Rumble.
Yeah, and the flamethrower is always going to be a little bit annoying to deal with in the early parts of the game here, but the longer you stick around, you're a K'Sante, you don't really have much to worry about, because whoever you take out of the team fight needs to worry about you, and that's exactly how Fuse needs to play. So, honestly, playing into this game, I'd expect a lot of isolation plays and aggressive. We've spoken about this. Fuse needs to commit once they do, but a K'Sante taking that single target out, and then a Vi capitalizing on whoever else is left. Nudie does take a lot of damage here. Stuck around for a little bit too long. Linium plays the bait in a good Katofu strike, having to flash away from that disposition there. That would have been a very nice play, but the flash is a good play nonetheless for one Doggo.
Yeah, a super respectful flash. I know top laners that would have just been knocked back there and gone, well, K'Sante can't kill me, there's minions on the tower, I'm going to run back. Clearly smelt that something was on, but this is a flashless Rumble. Vi's got such great gank patterns. He's going to have to be super careful, especially around the level 6 and K'Sante, because one wall, you're both flying through it, and usually it's a jungle to the side, and it's usually not yours. So, really well played from Linium.
Yep, definitely. And we saw in the midst of all of that, as trading is going back and forth between every single person in these lanes, we saw the two junglers pretty much just trade scuttle crabs as well. So they are at the exact same position in terms of XP, in terms of gold. Yeah, they're pretty much holding hands across the entire map here. And the level the level 6 will be picked up by either the first dragon for the Vi or Trundle, or by the first scuttle, but we do have Braum on the roam, putting some decent positioning down. Not much vision in that river yet.
Doggo in a really tricky spot here. Yeah, I was going to say, he has to try and do something to crash this. That ice, he has got no magic mantle. I wouldn't be surprised if he threw the all out here and tried to take him on.
Yep, it's all about that back and forth. You know, the top lane is always about, I'm going to go back. Nope, never mind. Tricked you, I'm going right back in. It's that back step that catches a lot of people off guard, and there it is. Perhaps maybe the all out is there. Is it going to take Doggo out? No. However, Linium doesn't have enough damage to really do anything about it. It's going to be an ult for an ult. Linium holding onto his flash, whereas one Doggo doesn't have his, but no death nonetheless. Vi is now dragging out the dragon as we speak. A little bit of a similar position this time round. Nameless wants to play into it, as opposed to the last game where Nameless was really doing it by themselves.
Yeah, I don't think Dog's out of the woods yet. He is greeding a bit here, holding on. He has got TP, so he does have a free reset. I mean, wait, tell me your top laner's name, by the way, because I feel like I'm butchering it at the minute. Linium?
We've been here before with you. I would say Linium.
Yeah, so,
I would say Linium. Yeah. I should know this.
No, but I like it because I like original names. Like, and that I've never heard of
Yes.
him before. You know, he's one of one. Imagine playing a game where your name's not taken. By the way, do you ever get that? I mean, domain's got to be taken on everything, right?
Ooh, by me. Because of no, but to be fair, no, I do see the point because it's all about the numbers here. Hold on a minute. Foxy does have the backup. Scopes does get grabbed, and then the field does do gravity. Gravity does a lot, man. The gravity's scary. Gravity's scary. You gotta be careful. It is indeed. We do have a level 6, and not really thinking about the flash because there's many members in this mid lane. As down at the bot lane, Nudie onto Tommy are trading quite heavily. Don't want to take it any further than that. Nobody's gonna go down yet. We're yet to see a first blood.
I hate, dude. Do you know what, right? Rumble are we gonna put Rumble in the same bin as like range tops? Do we like low-key hate range top Rumble? I don't know. I play it well, obviously. It's so difficult to do with K'Sante, right?
It's such a bully.
I think if K'Sante ulted a fraction of a second sooner in that 1v1, I think he kills Rumble, by the way. I think that was
so
the
too.
window. Hard agree. So yeah, I think he's going to be biting himself for that. Ult's coming back up for both, but you know, Rumble's flash in 20 seconds, and that's a lot of weight lifted. K'Sante's got an outrageous duel. And,
does get the missing the Katoka strike. Very nice sidestep. Did you hear that bias? He flashes over the wall. However, hold on a minute. 9 seconds for a flash. And I don't think it's early enough, and a first blood is coming our way. God. Another 4 seconds. He might just be able to do it. He's holding on, and he doesn't have the time. The first blood goes over to Linium.
Thank God for that, man. I genuinely, there was seconds.
You jinxed it, man.
Obviously timed it, right? Obviously timed it.
Yeah.
Let's put bonus.
Do you know what? Thank you, Unfazed. That was a caster curse for Fuse. I appreciate you, man. Thank you.
No, hey, I'm here for Fuse in that sense. Don't you panic. I'll curse my lot all you need, mate. Don't sweat. But again, you know, it was good pressure. There was punish windows. Doggo's not respecting the top, and keep in mind this is a big CS lead as well coming out. They're doing a great job on that top side. You've got to play a little tighter. You know, there's a kill. That's 16 CS on top of what he's got. Doggo's going to have a nightmare job. And again, he's gone full damage on K'Sante. Double Negatron cloak. It's going to be hard.
Ooh, that's heavy. I don't think you can face that. If I was this Trundle, I'd be staying clear, man, because you're getting one shot, and he won't be near enough these Void Grubs either, as Rising is starting. He's got the one. Nabbed it. Obviously, Sentient 8 being around the corner means that Nameless know exactly what's happening as Scopes. He's getting a lot of damage hitting onto him. That's a flash away from that Winter's Bite. That's going to be a very nice little kill for Valet. However, a flash for a flash is very good nonetheless, especially when the Victor doesn't have that summoner spell.
Yeah, it's a super safe mid. I mean, Scopes isn't going to die, I don't think. He'll play super safe under tower. Really good attempt by Valet, and you're not wrong, by the way. Flash for flash is great. This is where we've got the window with the Trundle pillar, which could be really annoying. Maybe go top first, though.
There's a pillar coming his way. Hold on. An equalizer. I didn't see a pillar. Maybe he didn't have it until he uses it at the right moment. Beautifully. Do you know what? That's just me in solo queue. I'd be like using that straight away. Put it down. There's an equalizer there. Make the most out of the damage. Never mind. Just look at Raiden doing exactly what he needs to do. And a kill has been picked up in the top side.
I mean, to be fair, your decision-making would have outdone mine. I probably would have used it on Gromp for some clear or something like that. I don't know, but I'd have done something super
And a scuttle crab on the way there.
Hey, no one's kiting me down this river, yeah? I'm popping cooldowns on the crab itself. But, yeah, I mean, we do get a kill back. I don't think that's going to really change top lane's fate right now. Linium on his way to that really scary K'Sante state where he's just an unkillable beast. Again, obviously very itemized for MR right now, which is useful. A lot of the team's damage is going to come from Wei, so it isn't too bad. This isn't a cooked build whatsoever, and he is going to be an absolute nightmare in the 1v1 top.
Ooh, Pop Blossom gets 2 knocked up. Who's going to go down first is the question. Tommy doesn't have the flash. It's most likely going to be the focus onto the Sivir. That's going to be picked up by Rising. In the top side, we've got a trade, but nothing else. In the bot lane, that's where the real action has befell us.
Whilst I was saying in the champ select, you know, Nico is very good into Braum because Braum relies on positional outplay.
Scopes is most likely just gonna go down. I don't think there's enough damage. No, he is on the urge of one more artillery skill shot, I think, coming his way. He's gonna have to be careful. He's sticking around, and he might just bite the dust if he's not too careful. However, Rising is around the corner. You can see Foxy thinking about it, and he gets the snipe. That's just a greedy stay, and it will be rewarded for Foxy.
Damn. I mean, it was. That's the thing, okay? I talked about this on the UCL before, and I won't bring that up again because I'm sure Baz has got its own stage and it demands its own stage, and that's cool.
Hell yeah.
When it comes to sort of high dodge rates in lane, people can get very tired. You know, Hui is one of those guys who can poke over the wave. I genuinely believe Scopes has dodged about 60 skill shots at that point, and you kind of start to drop your guard. You kind of feel a little bit of dodge fatigue, and you know that wave is crashed. Like, I just need to dodge one more Q, and of course it does go a bit south. But I mean, credit to Foxy for the pressure, but I've been that mid, Scopes, okay? Don't sweat.
Yeah.
I've been that mid. Tough times, hard matchup, but Scopes is scaling. This isn't a doomed mid by any means.
Yeah, no, listen, if you're driving down the highway and all that you're thinking about is do not hit that wall, what are you going to do? You're going to hit that wall because you need to think about the other thing that's not going to get you in trouble as the blue buff battle is coming to be a little bit more aggressive for both of these teams than it should have been. It's been secured by, I think, by Rising, so a flash has been used by Raiden. It is Raiden, right? Is it Raiden? I mean, hold on a minute. I just answered my own question. He's riding his way through to the mid lane here. Scopes doesn't have the flash. He does have the backup of the season desist. Is it going to be a Volt Breaker onto the tower? Yes, it will be. What a save. He comes around. Rising TTV might be actually live right now. Give him a like. Give him a follow. What a guy.
Beautiful gank. And again, you know, it's that kind of punish that Vi can do. We may see a little back-to-back. The flash was used at blue. And Trundle going for those auto attacks on the tower. That's a very 2v1 situation. Oh, hello. Flash come out.
Ooh! Foxy. It's getting low. And to be honest, you could use that excessive force over the tower. I honestly thought he might just Volt Breaker and just hit the tower with the E. That would have been cinema. Foxy does get to pick up that entire wave and goes back just fine. So, oh, that's just a quick bump with the, what is that, mace? I think that's just a battle because the first one was on the blue buff and Rising got that one. The club then hit the red buff and he got his. They're fine. They're walking right back where they belong.
Oh, it's the bro code, you know. They took a Scout Leech. And, you know, Rising's trying to break the bro code, taking extra camps. That's not allowed. Big opportunity top, though.
Yes, absolutely. Saintient looking for that route, doesn't connect, and that will be it, really. Walking right out of it. One Duggo sweating, just one single drop running down his eyebrow, and he's fine. He's going to live to see at least a couple more waves before maybe something else will be coming his way, but I don't think so. Where are we seeing the next action? 2 minutes before the next dragon. We do see 2 dragons already picked up by Fuse. This is the red side, right? It screams presence down in that bot lane because you can kind of enter that pit and then just disengage. Doesn't quite get the W off, and Wondergo is fine for now. However, is Linium is the real question. He does have a flash this time round. Might have to commit onto it, but there's more flashes coming his way. Actually, there isn't. But nonetheless, he's going to go down. Linium has been taken out. Maybe perhaps not enough voice comms on the Fuse side to let him know that actually they can't chase him if he flashed away. But a very good pickup. The second one of the game in the top side.
Yeah, whenever you're against a Trundle with Chilling Smite, it's pretty cooked, to be fair. Good 2-1 escape from Foxy. Looks like they wanted to build a little bit more.
Doesn't quite get the positioning for the season assist. That's the first tower in the top side. The cross map plays, they're looking good, and that's exactly where Nameless has stood strong in the last game. So Fuse is going to have to think twice about the next play on the map.
What way? Do you know what? I really should be giving a detailed sort of color cast breakdown, but I'm so fixated on the Hui skin because when he casts Q, there's like lightning in the Q. I'm jealous in spades, but my Hui doesn't do that. Anyway, back to Lee.
It's a nice recall. I actually, I
nice
enjoyed
skin.
that recall as you were saying that as well. No, I agree.
Dom, our next duo needs to be on the TR. That's all I'm saying. If this skin's unlocked in TR, I need to
Yes.
go on TR. It is what it is. It is what it is.
Mate, do you know what you're doing? You're putting the collar into the Hui because he's a painter. Do you know? I didn't get it. Anyway, back to it.
You are peak.
I'm too old. It's dad jokes, man. It's dad jokes. Yes, absolutely.
Hey.
Trundle walking right through the bear traps, thinking about a bit of an engage. 8 flashes in, gets the 2-man Pop Blossom, but a facial Glacial Fisher nonetheless is going to do a lot of zoning. That's 2 members already down. But for who is the advantage? Nice, all out onto the backline. Does he have a flash of his own? Yes, he does, but it's onto a Braum. Now he's left by himself. Does he do enough damage? Kitofa doesn't connect, and Tommy gets the broken ankles achievement as Foxy's now left behind in the backsides here. No ace in the hole either. He's going to get out just fine. Scopes is in a little bit of trouble. That's the Winter's Bite Collective flashing in with the flamethrower under the tower. They're going to be safe until the snipe in the same spot that we've seen Scopes go down. Foxy does it twice.
And that's the thing. We talked about this in the draft. They have to be super careful with these engages because of the equalizer. And again, that fight was taken right in the mouth of the river. The thinnest fight engage they could have gone for. The equalizer was just such a nuisance there because they just couldn't all collapse the target. Again, it was just a really fortunate fight condition for Nameless. It looked great, right? The Vi engage, but, you know, it was just where it was. They had a lot of impact with that ult.
For sure. It was a 1-for-1 at some point, and then Fuse really just overcommitted at this point. They're going to start another dragon, and it looks like Trundle doesn't have many gap closers. He's healing up quite nicely with the subjugate. Gap closer by the Rising will take him out. That's a flash for a Q. I'm sure you're happy about that at this point in the fight. However, who's here to send them their way? Raiden walks a little bit too aggressively again. That's the second time. The last one will be his doom. As now Dogo, without a flash, will be also going down. Oh, what a nice stand beside me with a unbreakable shield to deny the auto attack from Nudie. That's still a Raiden down, and a Dragon soul point will be picked up as Nudie's getting very low. He's going to take himself out as an equalizer will do the job. Again, honestly, playing for these objectives fine for Fuse, but at what cost?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's seriously split comms because the Drake was called. I think the Drake's a beautiful call. Oh, hello.
Going in, seasoned assist, a little bit late on that end, but one more auto attack will do it now. Rising will be taken out by who? Goes right into a very mana-less Foxy. Honestly, they could just keep on going. Misses the ability, doesn't hit what could have been Rising's last few moments. He will take himself out, and not before he takes Tommy as well.
Oh my goodness me. Dude, non-stop combat, by the way. These guys are throwing themselves at each other. But, rightly said, I mean, you know, errors in decision-making put aside on when and where they engage and who's doing what, Fuse are still up 3 objectives. They had the grubs as well. Rising's having a fantastic game. They are on the pedestal, but it's like you said, how much blood is spilt for this to go through? Nico's invisible. I don't think they saw him.
Yeah, this is still a 2v2, make that a 3v2. Does Nameless have enough damage? Raiden, there's a TP coming our way. Linium's half HP, he does have the all out. Thinking about it, Rising also very low on that threshold when it comes to it. A lot of zoning from Scopes, just to cut out the escape, or at least let them get out. Nice, spiraling despair, however it is on a K-Sante. He's got a lot of damage to be hit by. He's going to be walking out just fine. And that's it, that's all they wrote.
Yeah, I was going to say, I saw the ult go in, and I was like, oh, the ult's on. But then I realized he's got, like, Force of Nature Megatron, and I was like, yeah, the ult is not on. The ult's definitely not on. It's kind of like, yeah, he's pretty immune to all sorts of magic damage right now with that build.
Yes.
As we do see a little bit of pressure mid.
Yep, that's going to be Tommy trying to get the tower. He will at the cost of his flash, but I think that's okay because there is not a single tier 1 taken by Fuse, and all of them have fallen on their side. Nameless is pushing them very far into the unknown, really, because eventually this map will be just taken over by vision alone if you're Nameless. So you've got to consider what's your next step. If you're Fuse, what is it going to be to at least grab yourself some sort of position on this map?
Well, they've got the chance to really do something big. I know it's a Sivir flash, but that was a beautiful play by Sentient to force that with a Hex flash. Has the ultimate flash ready in 50 seconds. Nameless have to respect this all in, because like I said before, Braum can't be enabled if he's caught in the root. On the Pot Blossom, that's where Nameless falls apart. It's a lot of pressure to put on the support, but like we saw last game, bags of confidence on the Camille. I don't think Sentient's got any issue pulling the trigger, or at least being a large part of why Fuse pull this game out the bag. This is his time to stand up and make that play.
100%. I really like the shadowing from Sentient Ape just to defend Victor in the side lane. However, who's going to defend Nudie, who's now seeing Vi charging in, but Nudie's a very low. Caitlyn thinking about escaping another damage, but Raiden is also being pretty much engaged on. He can't do much else aside from go back to where he came from, but a lot has been committed there. They're not quite done yet. Tommy's now being engaged on. That's a Blessema that will be securing that one kill. All of a sudden, you've got none of it but the Braum trying to flash away. Stand beside me onto Rising, but one more has been removed. That's Sentient Ape. It's a 1-for-1 in the end.
Yeah, I mean, that was the play. Fantastic ultimate. Again, feel like it was... The people weren't quite there. Scopes was kind of chasing the play. The TP from Linian was a little bit, after the play. If they can get the all-in right, Nameless are going to struggle into the Nico. They have to do this coordination a little bit better, though, because right now, I feel like they are singing the same song. They're just maybe 4 or 5 seconds out. Everyone's singing slightly off pace, right? I mean, these team fights are going to come together, though. They are going to have this big Drake fight. 40 seconds on the clock. AD carry still flashless. A lot of Nameless sort of on the back foot. Braum as well can't flash to defend. Granted, he does have the jump. Stand behind me there. But this is the fight Fuse needs. They do have 30 seconds on the ult. 30 seconds on the Drake. This is their moment.
Yeah, and time again, the Vi is playing to peel. She's not really playing to pick out the backline, which she excels at. But how can you get into the backline when your own is in trouble? So you're playing to peel as a champion who doesn't really want to be doing much of it. I mean, yes, granted, Rising was able to pick up Tommy when he was just out of position alongside, of course, nice pop. Blossom did the trick. And now what we're looking at is Nudie constantly being under pressure in these team fights. Once the Trundle gets a hold of him, try and get away from Hui. Just try it. It's so difficult. Nice flash being forced in the top side. That's going to be a little pickup. Not too bad. However, it's been at the cost of a dragon. So unless you can make the most out of this 5-minute cooldown on this Rumble, I wouldn't call it too much worth it.
Do you know, I kind of liked what Fuse did there. They clearly had the intention to maybe pressure the Baron while the Dragon was obviously Nameless's focus, so they conceded vision, had good setup. But they did send it on Doggo, who did burn the flash, so they didn't really equalize that last Drake trade. So, I mean, Nameless will be glad to get one Drake, but the soul point's not going anywhere.
Nice pillar. He's going to have another one coming around, and the pillar won't be on cooldown. There's a lot of flanks coming our way. Sentient Ape doesn't have the flash. Thinking about the Pop Blossom. Nice disengage from Foxy. A lot of damage is landing. Sentient Ape does go in onto the 2 tanks, however. Who's going to go into the backline? None of them are Rising, but he's already been deleted by Foxy and Tommy. Just look at the presence that Nameless has in the very back lines. Fuse cannot go through this wall. It's become so fortified that now this Baron is gonna be absolutely flawless.
It's the same thing. You know, the Nico ultimate goes in, the Vi goes in, and it almost looked like a 2v5. The backup just wasn't there. I mean, they didn't send at the same time. And that's where it gets kind of tricky. It does get kind of tricky. They have to use this comp the way it has to be played, which has to be a big engage from Ape with a complete commitment. And we're going to have to see flashes coming out. We're going to have to see the big crush, you know? But they did sort of let it happen, and Vi was almost displaced by the ult. If they don't want to do the engages, they have to communicate to Rising, they have to communicate to Sentient that that's not how this game is going to be won, and they have to make those adjustments in real time, because I genuinely believe the engage and the backline just aren't having the same image of what needs to happen in these fights.
Yes, it doesn't at all. It's almost like, yes, the Nico's supposed to start these engages, but then she's too squishy to hover around for too much longer than she should. It's really all about Linium on this K'Sante to be that beefy frontline so that the rest can do what they need to. But Foxy is 7-0 and 2. 1.3k gold, a little bit less than I would have thought at this point, especially with such a big lead. However, he is the dominant part alongside so many great defensive points that Nameless has established right in front of him every single team fight. But now they do have a flank flashing in into the backline there. Foxy is being all of a sudden going golden. Nudie does get Fisher knocked up, but there's a nice equalizer. However, many members are going down. Rising can't really run anywhere, and neither can Linium. Can Doggo get out of this one alive? He goes golden. Yes, he can. That's still a great team fight for Nameless. They still got what it takes to go right in. Thinking about more damage. Flashing in. Does get the Vol Breaker, and all of a sudden nobody there to really punish Rising. Rising thinks about going in again. Sentient Ape is the one who started it all. He will be the one to fill that Winter's Bite.
And that's the kind of play that you could expect from a Vi. You do see Sentient going a bit crazy here. I wonder if this may be a little bit too far. It does have the clone there, so it is going to get out. Yeah, good ult again, by the way. Like, that was an insane ultimate. And again, for the first time, Fuse was on top of the ult. They got onto the marks they had to. Yeah, it was a good fight for Fuse, like you said. But I mean, we had a Magi halved for Foxy. We had Zhonya's used for Foxy.
Yes,
we had Zhonya's used for Doggo. They had to use all defensives. That is what Fuse can achieve every fight. They just need to coordinate that all in.
Yep, they absolutely do. Now, of course, 5 minutes is a long time to be thinking about another engage. Pop Blossom is such a huge ability, and that's why you've got that dash on your item that I always forget the name of. I think it's Rocket Belt, maybe. I don't know. Next, thank you very much. It delivers you, but not as instantly as a 5-minute summoner spell. So, for the next 5 minutes, Nameless needs to play proactively on this map, because everything else is a little bit more predictable. However, Fuse was able to pick up a few plates for scopes in the top side. He did expend his TP for that play, so now that's not available. Mid lane tower was picked up by Rising, who's now in trouble. Nudie also, that's going to be a nice snipe. Not as much damage as you would think at this point, but still, it is a decent chunk onto a Caitlyn who needs to be very healthy in these backlines. No prio in the mid lane for Fuse, so they're very much pressured to do something here. 9 seconds is still a long time before anything can happen. Those minions are definitely macroing their way. Pop Blossom into the backline. Is there enough engage? Rising goes right in with a Caesar assist and Foxy. That's Tommy taken out. Looks like Nudie wants to do something about the Rumble. Foxy's going golden. This is a great team fight if you're Fuse. They may have just picked up exactly what they needed. A few bits of gold in their pocket with a Soul Drake just to top it off.
Somebody get Sentient a pint. What a bunch of engages, by the way. Literally single-handedly putting Fuse back in the driving seat this game. They do get sold. They get the fight mid. And we said early on, I said on a self-roast when it came to Nameless, is they really struggled to keep Jinx safe last game. And that came down to creating space with Vision and really giving them space to breathe. Yep. It's hard to get in range with Nico, by the way. Even with Flash, you've got to have that blind spot. You've got to have that impact. And to get the Sivir on the back-to-back ultimate, this is not... Okay, not taking anything away from Sentient. Outrageously good ultimates. But again, the opportunities are forged in confusion. And that is exactly what Nameless needs to cut out.
Yes, and they've done that twice now, I will say. Can you play the same trick? Can you confuse your enemies 3 times in a row? Foxy doesn't have a flash. He might just go down here. This is a huge opportunity for the side of Fuse just to win some side lane pressure, especially at a point where you do have a Cloud Drake. All of those ultimates are going to be very quick members on their feet. once they cast those abilities. And so they're going to be even quicker with this tempo. That's going to be a tower already engaged on. However, nice wave clear from the side of Tommy, who's going to be engaged on another tower dive. Is a little bit too much, maybe perhaps, but it's a 1-for-nothing thus far. Nice Arcane Storm just to help out Rising a little bit, but he's now helped out by Satient. Nobody's tanking the tower. They just left him in the dry. Can he get out of this one? No, but the Brawn picks up the shutdown. That's a blessing in the good skies, if you're Fuse at least. And now a flash being used by the, I don't know even who. That was a mess, and it's gonna be Fuse's mess. They are on top in this team fight also.
Yeah, fantastic pick. Sivir melted to death. Good damage coming out, but again, right? We were kind of gasping at the Rising Gauge, and I don't think they really thought that it was on. This is the only thing that can undo Fuse's game, is this sort of like, I'm gonna go in, wait, we were going in? Sort of moments. Again, though, you know, we do get pressure on that top side. We do get towers killed. Fuse are taking the gold on the map. I mean, the teams are looking pretty even, man. Look at the gold, 59-59, 40-14, 31 minutes. We're going the distance as we do see a Baron side.
I like this. I do like this. A lot of some of the spells available on the side of Fuse, but also for Nameless, look at those flashes. They are your eyes. They are your best real hope at turning around team fights. Nico is just coming around with a flank. Looks like Linium is thinking about it. There's so many members just in the background. He goes right in, and he does get the flank onto Foxy, onto Raiden. There's a Braum getting the fish up, but none of them but Foxy's already removed. That's one target down. Rising thinking about another, but he's left by himself, really having to flash away from that one. Almost going down. That's a nice equalizer, but another Volt Breaker. He goes right. Where is he going? He's just standing on the edge of fire. Such a confident play. Wow. Okay, that's still one member down. What can Fuse do to turn this even more in their favor? They're going to start the Baron.
I think it's risky, man. Their jungler's on 1 HP. I don't know if they need to do this right now. They've got the solution. They've got the win. This is a big play.
Raiden is here. Linium's tanking. He's the front line. Rising is getting a little bit too low. Raiden and Rising, who gets it. Nice healing. The little 1 HP! Victor gets it! Linium goes all out, but as soon as he does that, he's out of the fight. But none of her, but Doggo also valid! Is no flash available? Is he going to be engaged on? No! Rising thought about it, but Fuse has come for what they wanted, and they got exactly that.
Man, what a smite fight. Literally both junglers in the pit. You hate to be that jungler, and I mean, they'll be thrilled to know they both missed smite. Hey, they both missed it, so it wasn't jungle diff, it was fixative. Brilliant damage by Scopes to secure that buff. And, I mean...
Peak League of Legends, ladies and gents.
It's coming down to it, man. I mean, this is the type of game we like to see. Everything being thrown out. But honestly, Sentient may have been raised by a guild of rogues or assassins, because these off-angle engages using Hex Slash to get over 3 walls before these fights start. These engages are priceless, and you know you've won if the mid sells Medjai's, and he's done just that.
He's 3 kills away, if my math is mathing, 4 actually away from having 100% KP at a 34-minute game. This Nico Sentient is really having a game on this Nico right now as we speak. Goes in with a clone, gets a few winter bites in that one. But again, this is a Baron and a Soul Fuse. They have now grabbed themselves the biggest gold lead that they've had this entire game, which is almost 2,000 gold. This time around, they've got some pressure in the top lane at least. The bot lane is not looking too good. However, they don't need to play for 3 lanes. They can definitely just think about the 3. However, instead, it's going to be the resets, just picking up some farm along the way, denying it away from Raiden in his own jungle, and just driving that gold lead a little bit more in their favor.
And this is the issue with Fuse's Siege. Even with Caitlyn, because the Nico is the playmaker, it almost is guaranteed suicide. If they do take a fight on complete vision, they desperately want to take a fight where they are fighting on their wards, which is exactly what they've done. They've withdrawn to the Elder. They don't want to use the Baron for Siege. They want Nameless to run into that Nico one more time.
100%. Now, 4 or 5 team fights in a row, we saw Foxy being the focus. if you're continually going to be able to do that, at some point the Civ is going to be very aggressive and do a lot of damage. So can you just leave her? Foxy's being caught out a little bit, flashing in, gets 2 Pop Blossoms already removing Foxy. Are you kidding me? Rising going in on to the next target, flashing away on the hunt, very quick on the feet, but the kill comes nonetheless. Look at the arcane storm, it's brewing. It's coming down like the fire in the whirlwind. That they've become a triple kill for Scopes. Make that an ace for Fuse at a 36-minute game exactly, where Nameless scored their ace in the exact same position at the exact same time on the exact same map of the game here. This is going to be a cinema series back and forth. We're going to game 3.
This might be Sentient's best and last game in Baz. What a performance on the Nico, by the way. Incredible champion ability, by the way. What an outrageous... Like, I'm not going to say that Fuse individually didn't carry. Victor, brilliant damage in the team fights. You know, Caitlyn did what she had to do. Scopes, like, you know, but... I mean, Sentient's going crazy on that Nico, bro. I can't eat. Like, we were on about the ult hitting last game being the pinnacle, but I mean, Sentient's ults, plural hit in this game. I mean, it's just undeniable.
Without a flash, with a flash, on a flank, not on a flank. I mean, this guy finds the angle, he gets the knock up, and there's a baby coming in 9 months' time. Because, wow, that, right? I mean, he's done it on the Camille as well. Because he's always constantly been in the backline, but it's a single target unless somebody else is there to join you. And, again, I will hold my hands up, and I will say, an impressive Vi as well. Rising is once again showing me what this champion is meant to do in a comp game like this, because he has been able to find his targets, and that's either because of none other but Sentient Ape or himself going into that backline. What an execution, man. And that was off the back of a very good start for Nameless. That was how many stacks on a Medjai's on a 7-0 1,000 gold shutdown, and it all
18.
started. Yeah, it was heavy, and it all started in the bot lane, the flash over the wall, and it was reacted with by Foxy. Foxy was like, where did this come from? Like, he's already flashing away, but it was just too late. It was not enough, and Nameless is now, of course, at the same exact position that Fuse was, funnily enough, exactly the same time of the game in the last game.
It's the best of one now, mate.
It is. It is, yeah. No, and the best thing about it is that we're going to see a whole new lineup of champions. That's why I love Fearless. I mean, at some point, I want to see an Iron Man draft, to be honest.
Whoa.
That's bans and picks.
We need ultimate bravery draft. Get the boys on that, you know?
Like, you've got 3 seconds to lock in a champion. Go. Wow. Okay. Well, I mean, I'm too excited, but we should go on a break. So that's what we're going to do, man. That's what we're going to do. We're going to go on a quick breather. Give us a moment or two, and we'll be back with a banger just before this break.
I'm alone, only know myself no more. Take it to the grave, I'll ghost. I know I can be so cold in the dark, where I like to keep my heart. No more bite, no bark, like to catch you way off guard. I'll stay so deep inside your brain and take you somewhere far away. Time to roll the dice, you know I'm the type to risk my life, not afraid to die. Type to make you cry, type to put a price all up on your head. Do just what I said. I'm a straight up villain, yeah, no feeling, yeah, no feeling. Straight up villain, yeah, no feeling, yeah, no feeling. Alive, but I'm dead, hear my voice up in your head. Watch it fill you full of dread till you go. Is it really a surprise if I'm playing with your mind and I treat you like a prize and I throw you to the side? And am I really that bad if I love to make you mad and get happy when you're sad? Only care about a bad in control. That's how I like it, and I'm never letting go. your brain and take you somewhere far away. Time to roll the dice, you know I'm the type to risk my life, not afraid to die. Type to make you cry, type to put a price all up on your head. Do just what I said. I'm a straight up villain, straight up villain. Get no feeling, get no feeling. Straight up villain, straight up villain. Get no feeling, get no feeling. But I'm dead, you know what's up in your head. Watch it feel you full of dread till you go. Bang, bang, you can do anything. No fear, no pain. Listen to your brain. Go stupid, go dumb, go stupid, and then we go insane. Whoa. Just do what I say, follow me, I'll lead the way. Time to roll the dice, you know I'm the type to risk my life, not afraid to die. Time to make you cry, time to put a price all up on your head. Do just what I said. I'm straight up villain, straight up villain. Get no feeling, get no feeling. Straight up villain, straight up villain. Get no feeling, get no feeling. Life, but I'm dead, my voice up in your head. Watch it feel you full of dread till you go.
help push it away. In dance chase and whispers before they all just fade. So how can I leave it all behind when I refuse to watch it fall to dust? I will find a this porcelain mirage may start to break. Each piece a reminder, every single little mistake. So how can I leave it all behind when I refuse to watch it fall to dust? Tell me why it won't ever be the same. I'll burn it all, no matter who's to blame. I'll find a way. I'll find a way. And every time I close my eyes, a little less of you remains. I know you're slipping further from me now. Am I too far away? Tell me why I won't ever feel the same. I'll try everything until you're back again. I'll find a way back to I'll find a way Don't try to make yourself remember, darling. Don't look for me, I'm just a story you've been told. So let's pretend a little longer, 'cause when we're gone, everything goes on. You were staring at the window.
Welcome back. We're back, baby. It's time. It's time to bring it back, man. We got ourselves quite a bit of a banger, man. 2 games back and forth. I always say I want to see the series go all of the way, the full length, and that's whether I'm watching Fuse, whether I'm not watching Fuse. It's all about just showing up and seeing the entire League of Legends just in front of you and just like displayed at its best.
Man, and I mean, hunger is there, mate. Hunger is there. You know, both teams throwing at 100 miles per hour. It's great. This is good league. I think we're seeing both teams make mistakes. I'm seeing greatness from both teams. I'm seeing game losing ults. I'm seeing game winning ults. It's all to play for, man. And I mean, you know, I think the identities of the teams are coming out a little bit more now, you know. And Fuse is definitely not one to be messed around with. Nameless has its moments as well. I mean, it's good. This is, you know what, when it comes to a series, like you said in the break, you don't want to join and get cooked and think, wait a minute, what's wrong? And you don't want to join and like instantly win and then have an ego go in and get cooked next week. You want to just hit that stride. You want to take a little L. You want to take a big win. But now this is obviously your favorite part of a best of three, the one where one team gets that 2 score. And I mean, I honestly right now, both teams playing great in their own ways. It's going to be close.
It is close. It's so nice to see, again, a debut from both of these rosters. In one way, Nameless debuting in Div 2. In another way, Fuse debuting as almost a whole brand new roster and just going at it, taking us to game 3. And whatever happens, again, just to feed off of your point here, at the end of this entire series, it's been a banger. Like, there's only one winner in League of Legends at the end of a best of 3, and it's going to be at the end of this absolutely excelling series right now to start us off in Benelux Ascend series. Summer is looking good. We're into the game 3 draft. It seems like red side, Nameless, is picking it themselves, and thus far, 100% win rate.
Good old red side. You know what I'm saying? It's a tricky side to play against. B1 just isn't as great as it once was. We do have a few really good picks still open. Orianna's still floating around, which will be a highly contested mid for this last game. Other bans was the Nocturne, but he's been banned out. Foxy's not going to play the Akali because we know he plays that. So yeah, Mel Graves never seeing action today, so is safely tucked away in the vault of Fuse's big secret to pull out the hat, and of course the Nocturne and Foxy Akali will not be debuting today. But again, there's plenty of champs left. Like I said, there's more.
Yes, there is. And the Akali being banned away points to maybe that B1 Orianna because it doesn't have a big counter lane if the Akali is then picked by Nameless. So an Orianna would make sense in the first instance by Fuse, and it gets locked in. The Jarvan's off the board as well. You don't have to worry about that. The Vi as well, right? So all of those instant engages into such an immobile mage are no longer there. And now it just creates a picture. There is a Malphite available. However, I don't think a red side R3 Malphite would make sense if you want to ban away the Silas on your rotation on the bans. So that could be quite a nice pick onto something like an Orianna, but it's going to be that Azir.
Big Shurima shuffle. I think Nameless had to have gone into this draft knowing that Orianna would make it through the net. Has been banned every single game so far. So the fact it got past the first 6 clearly thought that there were bigger fish to fry. Terrified of the Graves, by the way. Jinny's going to be the second pick coming out. And I mean, it is a very safe AD carry. It's blindable, sits way back in these team fights. And Tom really needs that because the last 2 games, he's been hunted down every single fight. Maybe the space he needs is just to shoot from Narnia and, you know, have himself in a position where he can't be collapsed. But again, this is early days in the draft. A lot of things can mess up both comps right now. Fuse have everything to pick.
Yes, they do. Dredgeline. I always call Nautilus Dredgeline. That's not the name of the champion.
It would be a cool name.
Right. It would be a cool name. It's like Dota names. They're like not names. They're like sort of titles in a way. Aurelion Soul being hovered. Hold on a minute. I know that Doggo plays it in the top lane. Is this just like a pick it into us sort of a flex because we know you play it, or do they lock it? They are shuffling through champions right now. There is a Yorick available. There's the I know that's like if you're picking AP into the bot lane, but you're not, so Yorick is no longer needed because obviously Ziggs was up and no longer an option for either of these teams. So that's not going to be coming out nowhere. So yes, quite a safe lane down there for the Ezreal as the Leona does get locked in.
I mean, it's just a pick into naught. I don't think it's any deeper than that. Orianna's a tricky mid to ult with Leona in these team fights if he's playing super respectful with the Fog of War. I mean, it is going to be a very different game for Sentient. He has played a very sneaky game. Nautilus has a different role in a team, though. He is more front line, and if he does go off angle too crazily, obviously the Dredgeline may be a little bit in the middle of nowhere, but I kind of like the way he's playing. He clearly is like one of the massive engage factors when it comes to Fuse's all in. And Oriana's a great pairing. Ezreal's a great follow up. Leona doesn't really care in the lane phase. That's what they've got going for them. I don't know if they can translate into kills on an Ezreal though, because it is a very tricky AD carry to lock down. So a good pick to just take it to stalemate.
Yeah, no, definitely is. Now, a lot of these topside laners are Ornn is off, K'Sante is off, Sion and now Dr. Mundo being banned away. I'd expect more Bruiser front in the topside now because of that. And I mean, when you have a Nautilus, the trouble is with such a champion is that when he goes in, there's no going back. It's like you have to commit. So I'd appreciate something that sort of fills in the void. Yeah, the Nod, definitely.
Yeah.
Bit. I don't know. I'm trying to pick at the whatnots here. Olaf has been banned away. That's a nice little ban. And there's a Pantheon hover just in the end. Could be going jungle. I don't expect it going into the top lane. So yeah, it looks like a nice pick. That's a nice global ultimate to have, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, we did, go back in time to scopes and side lanes. We did have an issue way back when with global ultimates catching mids. I remember that, Cass. I had no skin in the game then, though. But again,
of course.
that is a very good ultimate to have, like you said. Good pickup for the Skarner here. Does really reduce that confidence. We do have a bit more of a structured all-in. I'm not sure if that's going to be the ball carry pick. I think Nautilus and Oriana are probably going to be doing heavy lifting in that department, but that Impale, if one Shockwave gets 3 and it groups them enough, the Nameless don't really have anything in the tank if that Impale hits. Ezreal's going to be 3 deeps in. Jin's ult's going to be just shooting into the Scorpion. It's going to be a really nice fight. So yeah, super squishy. And wow, that's the lock. Big all in.
Wow, I like the Ambessa here. It makes so much sense. Now, obviously, Linium is no stranger to being either the weak side or strong side. I've spoken about this, and the Ambessa delivery, and that's if you need it, because Scopes on the Oriana, by the way, bar none, has one of the meanest shockwaves without a delivery system in itself. So there's that Malphite into the Oriana, which isn't going to be locked in anyway. Okay. So we've got a Zehena just in that top side, heavy bruiser top side because of all of the tanks being removed, and really liking where this game is going. We do have those global ultimates for the side of Nameless, and not only is it the Grand Starfall delivery with the curtain call, that synergy right there, the voice comms are gonna be popping for Nameless. The solar flare delivery, whoever is at the receiving end of that, Oriana, is going down very, very quickly. So I expect Sentient Ape on this Nautilus to be shadowing Scopes wherever he goes.
100%. And I mean, I think the Ambessa pick's really cool as well, because I think that's pretty much where Jin will be sitting. Max range ultimates. It really does put pressure on in a game where he shouldn't really feel any pressure. There's not much of a front line for Nameless. I say that with a little bit of a sort of caveat. Leona is a great engage. It's definitely not a tank top engage, but the screening, I mean, I see the Zehen diving the backline. I see the Leona going in to assist with the engage. Who's helping Jin get rid of the deep dives on him? I don't know if anybody is going to commit to that. So the fights need to be played where Jin is super safe. That's a risk. Nameless always seem to be caught off of really poor vision setups. And that's literally what Fuse needs again. Believe it or not, that's literally what they need. Opportunistic engages. Nameless has the early game comp though. They cannot let this Pantheon get 3 kills before Skarner gets that super tanky, I can take the heavy punishment for an Impale. They have to take this game and play it properly. They do have the aggression of Nautilus. They cannot concede kills early on the side of Fuse.
Light the fuse. Give them a name. Is that the hashtag? I don't know.
How dare you not know? I'll be having a word with Doma about you, mate. Yeah.
Wait, we need to. Have you got a hashtag? We need to come up with a hashtag right now. There must be, right? Nameless. Let's. I can't get too creative right now. We're gonna ponder that question, man. We're gonna just stick with. Yeah, we'll come back, man. This is going to be a banger. Nonetheless, it's game 3. Both of the teams have showed up. I will say, Foxy on an Azir, a little bit mobile, a little bit more nimble to get into the backlines. It's not like he can get caught out like something like a Hui time and time again anymore. So definitely a very scary one to consider going into this game as we speak. There is a bit of a push with that dredge line available. However, the Leona is nicely placed to deny any engage.
Hey, I'm just happy we didn't get a Malphite game. Come on, have some cojones, you know what I'm saying? I like the high skill matchup top lane. These guys are high risk. Conqueror coming out for the Ambessa, so she will fare well in the elongated trades, which is going to be quite frequent, I imagine. Hail of Blades is... It's definitely a summoner spell. I would, be a bit scared if the fight drags out a bit too long in that 1v1. But again, Zahen has fantastic in-and-out mechanics, can be done. But it is skill matchmaking. These guys have to outhand each other, and the top who wins that top will have significant impact in that split push.
Interesting. Yeah, no, definitely. I'm not too much of a Zahen connoisseur, so not necessarily would be thinking about a Halo Blades. Obviously, Conqueror is your most likely go-to, but I appreciate the idea. I think what's gonna happen here is Doggo wants to stack that passive as quickly as possible. The Halo Blades right there just gives you so much pressure, but hold on a minute, we got a fight at top side, bot side. Nudi's getting quite low, and top side also where it all started off. Level 3 advantage, however, for Fuse for a little bit longer until there's that next one. Doggo is getting a nice dreaded return from the side. And that's a flash, but it seemed like he wasn't gonna hit, but then it didn't. And all of a sudden, no flash for Linium.
Almost is so right, by the way. That was a very close 1v1.
So close.
I don't know if Doggo's just got that, top laner will, where it's like, I will not flash this. I might die, but I will not flash, which I'm sure is some sort of top code that I'm unaware of, because it is just filled with the scariest people. They are very scary people, top lane. No disrespect to top lane. But could be okay. Onto the AD carry.
Yeah, Nudi's dragging out that wave as well, so it's going to be a nice freeze. Arcane shift over to Tommy. Tommy does have the flash. He's got the barrier. Valet, however, going in because there is Raiden. Have flashing away, but hold on a minute. The root connects onto the one unexpecting. Onto none other but Nudi. That's going to be a first blood for none other but Raiden.
It was just really odd timing, Pantheon was just in the area. I don't even think that was really an intentional roam. It was like, oh, wait, what? This is happening? And again... Sentient kind of doing a Nameless there, pulling the trigger without good warding and without guarantee, and it has bitten Ezreal. Granted, he did keep the flash. I don't think there was a way out with Pantheon Flash W. If he'd have flashed, he'd have followed up, killed him anyway. So very good decision-making to preserve those spells. Will prevent a repeat gank bot lane, but again, Nameless do get that kill, and it is on the Panth.
Yeah, no, it's just hilarious, that interaction there. The support not living up to his name, flashing away. I don't want to die here. You take that, and off we go. It would have been more impressive if they both flashed at the same. Just imagine that, both flashing. I'm going to flash. Yeah, I'm too. Oh, that would have been crazy. Anyway, crazy is what Valet is doing right now onto Scopes. This is an Orianna holding onto the flash. There's a lot of holding onto the flashes in these solo lanes. This one a little bit safer than what we saw in the top side. However, Orianna now having to back. Probably going to hover around just to catch this wave. Not much threat coming Scopes' way. However, there may be something coming Foxy's as we speak. Many members within this mid lane.
Kind of tricky to gap close on Azir, especially with the Shurima shuffle. I mean, Scopes has to stay here. TP's on cooldown. That's a massive wave. You really need to make sure that it's A-okay. I'm glad that he is bailed out by 2 members there, and, Foxy has to chill a bit. Unfortunately, Foxy isn't forced out of lane, so he will hard push this. Orianna might miss a few CS on the next wave, but a good reaction from Fuse to sort of damage control there.
Yes, Raiden is picking up a camp in Rising's territory. Nice dredge line. Looks like there is an Extale impact coming around. There's no level 6 for nobody at this point in the game, so Valet, without a flash, might just go down here. However, you do see Foxy move in a little bit earlier than Scopes. There's that Emperor's Divine. I always say Divine. Get that word out of my mouth. Is it Emperor's Shuffle? What is it? I
Divide.
forgot. Either way, thank you. Emperor's That's why. Divide, not
It's
divine.
an easy word to get baited by,
Divide.
bro. Don't panic.
Hell
too much,
yeah.
man,
Hell yeah. Nice save by Foxy.
Yeah, it was a good save. I think a Nameless doing a Nameless this time. So, a big aggression play coming out from Valet. No vision whatsoever. Of course, they collapse. And now Foxy's using an ultimate. We've pressured the mid. There's no TP. It would have been a great way to send Orianna back to base with said ultimate. Now Drake's gone. A costly mistake from Valet.
It is indeed, and exactly that. The dragon is going to be the cost of that, and the first dragon on the blue side for this entire series as well. So that's in itself a decent position for Fuse to be in at that point in the game, and also is at the cost of course, not having an ultimate for Foxy, so you can't really punish the Orianna in lane, and thinking about punishing the Orianna, you do have the Grand Starfall available now, level 6, Pantheon, slightly sooner than the counter opposition here, which is the Skarner, of course, as we speak, who's still about to get his. But he doesn't get into the fray as quickly as something like the Pantheon. So all of the voice comes on the side of Nameless are going to be screaming exactly where this Pantheon might be going. But for now, he's just going to be doing a full clear as his jungle is definitely in need of trimming down.
It's the jungler bro code. Are you full clearing? I will full clear. Let's full clear together. We're not going to make the highlight rules for the enemy teams. We're both going to come out of the jungle full build. But the problem I've got with that is Skarner really likes that way more than Pantheon. Pantheon is that early game champ. Does need that early game value on that W. One of the few junglers with a guaranteed sort of point and click stun that is as effective as Pantheon's. I know Briar's kind of got one if you squint, but it's half the control on that champ. So yeah, they really want to get this early gank stuff done. This is a very passive.
Oh, Emperor's Divide does connect. There's a flash and a nice shield vault. Scopes is getting low, but there's an Impale coming in and a shockwave. Hold a minute, they could turn it around. It's going to be a 1-for-1 in the end. Rising does arrive at the perfect time to at least get something for Scopes' troubles, but he's going to be missing out on a whole wave.
He's trying to hold it. Where's that kind of jungler in my solo queue games? Take note of my junglers, yeah? That's what I want to see on my games, man. I swear, if that's my Skarner, he's just going to nuke the wave with Qs and stuff. That's the wave. That's how I've been dealt my fate.
Well done, man. Well done to the Rising, for sure. I mean, it's something. It's the thought that counts. Still going to be missing out on quite a few minions. Doesn't have the prio. Has taken one Void Grub. Somehow was able to slide that one away, but it looks like Rising's now going to have to use the external impact. He's going the wrong direction when it comes to finding his safe way back home. I don't think anybody's actually chasing him, so he's going to get out of this one just fine. One Void Grub for the two that was traded.
Yeah.
Oh.
He pulled in a storm.
Oh, Sentient Ape loves to do a topside roam. He does it a lot, actually. I haven't seen him do it a single time in this game where it was successful. Maybe perhaps this might be the first one as we speak. Flash it away already, but the auto attack has connected. There's the depth charge, losing the Grim Deliverance, but there's the public execution, and it might just be enough. One auto attack, but then there's the auto attack just to give him the passive. What a play from Doggo. There's your Halo Blades coming in clutch.
Maybe I've cooked Doggo for the wrong reasons here. I mean, hey, look, you're not going to convert me on in one game, okay? He's down 30 CS. I think that may be a little bit conk-related, okay? But do you know what? I could be completely missing the mark.
Yeah, I think you cast the custom with the Halo Blades, and I cast the custom by saying Sentient Ape getting his first good roam. We've kind of clashed there, and Doggo gets like what is a minus and a minus? It's a plus. He gets away with it. He's fine.
It's like Harry Potter, you know, when they're playing Quidditch, like the mind control. One person pushes him off the broom, and you're like correcting him on the broom. And like, if we both give caster curses, technically there's no curse, right? It's just like a 50-50 thing. Transactional double curse equals no curse. I think that's very thoughtful of us on the desk. I'm not gonna lie, as we do see a little bit more fight at top.
Yeah, we do. It's like I was Voldemort in that sort of scenario, and then you was Snape, but you was blamed for like trying to counterspell the situation. Man, that's a throwback. I swear to God. If anybody in the chat hasn't watched Harry Potter, I'll be very upset, man. Anyhow, we've got a bit of a play in the top side. How about we focus on the game? And this one will result in a kill for Linium himself. A very good pickup in the top side.
Yeah, I think we can do like 10% Harry Potter to 90% game. We did get a little distracted there as we do see a fantastic
Ooh, another
Temperance
Temperance Divide. Scopes is definitely going to go down, having to use the heal. Beautiful positioning, but there's the Solar Flare going right in with a Zenith Blade a little bit too far in there. One more auto attack from the tower won't do nothing. It seems like Scopes' Oriana is in trouble.
Yeah, it's... Man... Do you know, I've got cold sweats being a mid lane into... Ooh.
Exhale Impact
Ooh,
onto a nice Impale, but it's just a Skarner, really. They could just turn it around if they're fused. There's a TP coming around the corner. That's going to be none other but your Linium coming in. He's thinking about the kill. Double kill with a nice spear into the face of 2 as Foxy is shut down by a nice turnaround from Linium just to at least establish some sort of a trade and a 2-for-2 in the end.
Mate, my spears do half the damage, I swear. But what a great spear. But again, Fuse doing a great job. The Avengers assembled just
Front
in
Starfall
time.
coming to flash your way, but the root follows nonetheless, having to use the cleanse. It won't be enough. Another spear. This one will hit the target as well. Raiden is 5-1. He's 2,000 gold up for the entire team. 1.5 for himself. Might as well be the entirety of that gold lead because he is putting it to work like the public execution is being put to work onto one doggo. This is going to be a bit of an extended trade for the Zahan. The tower is just around the corner. He might just be able to get out just fine. He uses the Grim Deliverance. Does look like he will be able to get out again with a smidge of HP.
Yeah. I thought he was going to die. I'm pleasantly surprised.
A lot of focus down onto Sentient Ape. Nice Extale Impact. Looks like the Shockwave does connect onto the back, and it will force out the shuffle out of Foxy. He can't use that gap closer in an aggressive manner, but nobody goes down. Do you know what? It's just the supports. They just want to show up, you know? It's like the support diff. Whoever goes down first.
I mean, if they're not fully committing somewhere on the map, are they even playing support? I mean, in this meta, do you remember the days when it was like Janna, Lulu, and they would just stand behind AD carries for the first 25 minutes? They're long gone. If you're in bot lane, you're basically not playing support at this point, which is a nuts thing to think. But, I mean, you know, the meta has pushed these supports to be hyperactive. And, I mean, I used to hang out a lot with a guy called Lazarus. He's like multi-season challenger. And he always said to me, you're not the AD carry support, you're the support for the team. And that's really how this has all come together, I feel. Not because Lazarus, but supports adopting that help the team playstyle. Yeah.
I also remember a meta where there was a Smite support top lane, and they leave at level 3 and never come back, and I lost to a Yuumi. That was a great Impale. Trisha Barrage won't be connected onto nobody. No Shockwave to follow through. Another 25 seconds for that. That would have been sexy, but it won't be happening. That's still Foxy very low. The Dragon is up. I don't think there's much prio for Nameless to start the Dragon, for that matter. So instead, they're going to be pushing out the mid lane instead, where Scopes will meet them with a TP.
Yeah, it's a tricky one, really, because I think there's a world where Nameless really gets into a lot of trouble there. They go really deep. Once again, the vision isn't great in the jungle. Keep in mind, that was just what vision on the brush they were engaging on. Could have been a disaster. True shot barrage. Assist by Rising to dodge that. But yeah,
Doggo.
It could have gone a lot worse. Neither team really out ahead.
Root does connect very low on this Nautilus. The Dragon is, of course, up. I mean, Nautilus's job is really just to hit that one dredge line, and then if he goes down after it and trades his life for something like, I don't know, a Jhin, he'll be fine. But because he's so low, it doesn't seem like Fuse wants to be committing onto that one. It's going to be a Drake. Just give it over to Nameless, the first one of their game, as Doggo. Thinking about escaping away from a public death. And yeah, a very good idea. Don't want to be hovering around. It just doesn't make sense.
He's going
right?
to die, I swear he dies. Oh, no, he doesn't.
He's got a TP. Just get home, brother. Get home.
Do you know what? The CS lead top is incredible. I've got to give credit to Linium where it is, deserved. And I'm not going to flame Dogma for going Halo Blades anymore. But again, these long trades is exactly what Mbessa forces. You've got the big engage with the ult, and now it's deal with me for the next 10 seconds of combat. I just don't think he's got the sustain to handle that, as we do see a repeat gang top.
Yes, we do. Herald is going to help that one, as this tower is going to go down nonetheless. Does it follow with a death on Doggo as well? He does get slowed down by the boulder, and Dreaded Return actually just gets the impale right onto him. There is a public execution available, and it seems like it's not going to be used as of yet. One Doggo uses his ultimate to escape in a defensive manner. We've seen it a few times, however, Zahen does scale very nicely, so for as long as he just survives, for as long as he can in the top side, where it seems like Fuse is prioritizing a lot of their time into, it makes sense. It's an Umbessa, it's a strong side pick. You just need to make the most out of it.
100%. And it's great gold for that top lane. And that Umbessa is 3k
Wow.
ahead. That is a turbo-doomed top lane situation. And like I said early on, this top lane matters so much because it's split push pressure, because it is the lane that will dictate the pace of the late. My concern for Fuse is, of course, is the Pantheon being as fed as it is.
Scopes.
If anybody goes super deep for that wave, it could be.
That's a curtain call. That's a grand start. I mean, all of the ults aside from the Seers have been committed, and it will be a dead Orianna. Public execution 3000 on this Umbessa. Remember, that's a lot of damage. However, already half HP going very low. That's one member out in a 3v4. You gotta be careful. That's no Orianna in your lane. Zahen is holding on to his TP. Nice way to disengage on the side of Nameless.
Yeah, again, though, I think this was more a case of they didn't really understand that they were going in, but right.
There's not much support.
There's a lot of cash.
He's very deep. Nudie, he's really just got to be able to pick up a shutdown if he can play into a level 12 Pantheon, and I don't think he might be able to. Gets the Arcane. Does he hit the Mystic Shot? Yes, he does in the end. Dreaded Return doesn't quite connect. However, there is somebody on the back flank onto Doggo very low. Does have to dash over the wall. Everybody left right in there. I don't think the voice comes required there because he was looking for a play and nobody else really was there to back him up.
Oh, I know the voice comms are there, and everyone said, let's back. Rhydon just had those kills, bro. You know what I'm saying? These jugglers, you give them a bit of gold, the back button just turns grey. They can't go back to base. They'll be sent back to base. That is crazy. They will be sent back through death. And that's just how it's got to be sometimes, you know. Respect to the jungle brothers out there on the grinds. Rhydon not letting anyone down. Shutdown goes to Ezreal, though. And the AD carries have had a pretty chill game. You know, Tom got a kill mid on the Orianna with ult, but that has completely leveraged that lead, brought the Ezreal right back into the game.
They did. Speaking of gold lead, in terms of a CS lead, right? We've spoken about the Umbessa, but what I haven't witnessed is everybody, aside from the Zahen, being 20 CS up, at least on the opposition on the side of Nameless. So there might be a 40 CS lead for the Umbessa, but a 60 in total for Nameless on the respective carry roles. And that's a lot of money in their pocket because of it, as we speak. Flashing in, flashing away. Tommy, good reaction time. That's a nice, very good pickup in terms of the summoner spell here. Nameless doesn't have that on the Jhin now. 1 minute until the Dragon.
Yeah, we do have a lot of the items coming together now. Nash is coming out for the Azir for the 50 poke. Quadra kill. We've got the one shot coming out from Orianna. You know, Alternator and Ludens. If somebody gets caught in that, that is huge damage. Skarner is borderline immortal if he gets his unending despair and a few more items down the road. Is still susceptible to a death. You know, they're not there yet. But yeah, there's a lot of sustained combat coming out from the side of Nameless. Pantheon isn't really going to shy away from any fights. Has that Sunder right there, so Sundered Sky, sorry, to give him that life steal back on those auto attacks. There's a lot of consistent fights. Leona's pretty much immortal with that item as well. I forget the name of it, but it's pretty much like budget Mundo ult. There's a lot of good stuff coming out that will help in these sustained fights, but they've got to be careful because Fuse has got such an explosive all-in.
They do. We just saw Azir going right into that 2v... Hold on, TP into the mid lane here by the looks of it. They want to play for the Dragon. It makes sense. Azir has been able to push out the top side now. He's looking for a bit of priority onto that second Dragon for both of the teams as Linium. That's going to be a very early ultimate from the side of Doggo. Doesn't hit the Dreaded Return, but he does win at least some sort of pressure. The priority has been taken over. Doggo just pushing Linium out despite being down 2.5k gold. That's going to be their second Dragon of the game.
I think Linium was just terrified. It's like, wait, why is this guy just running at me? He has no way to kill me. There must be something coming. And I think the rest of Fuse are like, hey, hold on. And Bess is chunked out. get the heck out of dodge, and they've done just that. We do have a potential pick spot, though.
Yes, we do. That's a nice solar flare prediction onto that dash, and there's going to be a divide coming Linium's way, and that's a great kill for Foxy. They stuck around after picking up one objective. They thought, actually, we want something else, just a cherry on top, and that will be this Ambessa going down as well.
Hey, do you know what? At the rate that Linium's been playing, he is an objective, by the way. I'm not even going to say he's a champ at this point. He's a beast. And, you know, it's a good kill. Fantastic solar flare. Credit.
Oh, nice and pay. Oh my God, came out of nowhere. Downtown. Barrier being even committed onto. That's going to be a very good answer, I will say. 1 for 1 in the end. And the gold lead is pretty much just even at this point in the game. So you have got to consider the real advantages. And where are they? They are sitting in the hands of one, the Azir Pantheon. That's 2 champions that you are terrified of, but not in a 4v5, so Fuse will be playing quite aggressively. As you can see, everybody's moving into this mid lane. It seems like they might be even thinking about putting some vision down in the top side of this river, which makes sense 22 minutes into this game. You might as well, there's nothing else to do, as Raiden does get the Raptor.
Oh, I mean, all intentional, by the way. The blind blast cone juke from Foxy. I mean, come on. How lucky can you get? Sentient almost reminding Foxy. By the way, you know, I've just spent a whole game locking you up. Don't make me do it again, bro. As we do see the vision fight spill into the river.
Zenith Blade.
Be risky here, though. There's a lot of players there.
A lot of good engaged flashing away from the divide. That's one summoner spell not available, and the ultimate flash. Sorry. TP coming through by Linium. He wants to be thinking about going all in, but by the way, both of the tier 1 towers are still up. It's not like they can chase any further than this little lane that the mid lane really is, the shortest lane in the entire map. So once you commit, you need to stick your landing. Linium playing around this river, which doesn't really belong to him. Gotta be careful.
Man, I mean, both supports are inches from ruining somebody's day. A super nice escape from the Nautilus, though. The Merc Treads definitely paying for themselves with that escape. You know, it's these little deaths, like that would have led into a mid-tower push. You know, there's momentum gained from each pick. Every time they live on 1 HP, it's an opportunity missed, and they can recover. So yeah, really well played from Fuse. They make it out alive there. And same for the Ambessa. In no man's land, and Foxy top. Everybody's just dodging by 1 millimeter, but somebody's got to catch that soon.
I mean, I like it. I like it. They have to. These skill shots that are dodging is the name of Nameless. There we go. We got the hashtag. They have to just keep on finding these picks. This is exactly what you do into an Orianna, because if she can't play on the aggressive, she can't find a shockwave. And that's a disaster for an Orianna team comp, obviously. So you're going to have to think about maybe a delivery instead. There is the Ambessa, who constantly has to be dealing with side lane pushes into her. By the way, 2 of these side lanes are now shoving out for Nameless for their little play around the river now being made a little bit more alive, a little bit more active because of it. Valet always going for those Zenith Blades, but a nice dredge line. There is a TP being enforced, actually, from the Orianna going right in. That's going to be a quick, just back away idea from Nameless. They don't have to stick around. They already won the Summoner spell.
Damn, it's like, I feel like this is like a boxing match, and we're waiting for the fighter to score the hit that gets them the points that really starts to snowball the fight. You know, everything's being committed. There's a little bit of aggression mid. Leona pokes her head out. Instantly Fuse react with all of the arms. They said, if you want to go, we're not going to concede. This vision fight for the top river is getting brutal. It is a Baron, so it's not even really anything up for grabs. Just the great unknown is freaking out both teams right now.
This is looking not too bad. That's a nice public execution. There is a TP available for none other but the Zahen, so they need to be quick if you're Fuse. Shusha Barrage does hit that. That's a great Bayo. Is there enough damage? Yes, there is a 1 for 1 in the end, and the Skona is tanky, but not to 3 members, as now the Orianna has joined into the team fight. The Shockwave is fishing. Does it find anything? Yes, it does. Is there enough follow-up? No, there isn't. You do see a lot of damage hitting onto none other but Doggo. He goes in, but Raiden does as well. He's going to be removed. Doggo with no HP. There might be just enough from Nudie. Is there a few more Mystic shots coming Nameless's way? No, there isn't. That there is as close of a team fight as this game really is. Still 600 gold apart.
And I think, Nameless showing a little bit of nerves there. They definitely had that. They had a great Drake setup, keeping in mind that Raiden was alive and they'd just taken out Rising and Bessa was dead. It was 4v3, and they could have made that Drake play, and it could have connected. It could have been a good little landslide. Both teams rushing to get vision now. I think Sentient's actually out of wards. I think Valet's got a few more in the tank, so they're going to have to be careful on this reward here.
Just go in. We know Sentient Ape, he loves going there very deep into those plays. Valet does use the flash. That's going to be a pickup. One dragon up. For the taken, who's ordered it? Nameless, and they may be able to do it in a 4v5 coming right up, but not before a few of these minions will be shoved out by Nameless in that mid lane, and that's a soul point just as free as it is with the True Shot Barrage not quite connecting.
Yeah, both supports fighting for biggest Psycho engage at the minute. That flash after the pick was just crazy. Didn't really have any value. But again, it was just unfortunate. Good warding opportunity for Sentient, but he isn't playing the off-angle support anymore. He is sort of taking on the identity of that frontline support. And he does need to change the playstyle a bit, because when he is caught, he does have to put himself... He either full sends it or, just dies anyway. So it's tricky. He has to ward carefully. Leona is a nasty thing to escape.
It is indeed. The gold gap is closing just a little bit in the top lane there. That's about 1,000 gold where it was before. However, in general, everything else seems to be quite smooth for everybody. Just keeping hold of these nice little advantages, especially down in the bot lane here. It seems like Nameless is doing what they need to be doing, what they've done best, and that's cross-map plays. They pick up a whole tower onto Linium in a 1v2. Will they be punished for it? There is a blast cone. They won't be. And that external impact doesn't really catch up with the target. Raiden is still on the run. A good impale. Is there enough to follow through in the back? Foxy's thinking about it. He doesn't really have much mana. Raiden's just going to be sacrificed, really. That's a True Shot Barrage connecting as well. You do see the tower up. Sentient Ape on that flank. One by one, they will be taken out. And that's going to be a shutdown going over. On a Leona shutdown, by the way, for none other but Nudie, but Doggo does pick up a tower at the cost of a few deaths.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely looked at Siege bot side. They got the T2, they made the Azir tower, but Nameless just had to disengage there. Rhydon getting a little bit cocky, staying a bit too long, and of course that did result in that collapse. It did, it's damaging to the momentum, but I'm going to stop talking because I think something crazy is happening right now. There's a Baron being started.
There is. Now, we do like to see the Barons that are just started for the sake of starting a fight because of it, but if no fight's coming their way, it might just be Fuses, Nasher, and they will be retaliating onto it, at least with a curtain call. Looks like Doggo's going in for a bit of a backline on the Zahen. He will get the passive stacked up a little bit, but the Baron has been controlled. Raiden wasn't there, and that's a play to make, by the way. That's a very aggressive one in a 4v5. Will they escape with their lives? They just might do so.
They're cancelling recalls. They're doing that thing I hate people doing. Everyone just get out, please. Fuse. We done the Baron reset real quick. Nameless a little bit slow to react to that one. I fancy that was a bit of a sketchy one. If Zahen got really deep with the Grim Deliverance, tried to get a few autos down, it could have been a very awkward Baron, especially with the curtain call from Jhin and the Azir having so much poke from afar with the Emperor's Divide. But again, Nameless a little bit timid on that. Letting Fuse get that Baron will give Fuse a lot of driving force, especially with the Drake coming up a bit. They can set the waves up very well. Keep in mind as well, Nameless have a lot of T1 towers. This Baron siege could yield a lot of gold.
Yes, it definitely can. Now, I think Nameless is still playing a much better macro because every single time they shove out a side lane, Fuse has to reply with an Orianna in a side lane, and that's scary, especially with a Pantheon being around. I say that, and this is probably I tried to make a point, and it's at the worst time because they actually have the best side lanes they've ever had this entire game along. So that will result in a nice tower pickup for Fuse down in the bot lane as Doggo's trying to sort of reply onto a Grim Deliverance having to be used, and that's one cooldown that Rising is going to be very happy with, and so will the rest of Fuse because they are still holding on to a whole Baron for the whole team, and they have the mid lane shoving out in what seems like a 4v4. Linium does want to be poking down Doggo, who for the most part, missed out on a lot of his HP due to his position in a jungle rather than in a 1v1 into Linium. So it might look scary, but I don't think he is under a threat of a tower dive just yet. That tower in the mid lane is now down, and it again opens up this map for Fuse.
100%. And I mean, we've got itemization coming out now. Jin is online, 3 items complete. Ezreal, 3 items complete. You know, the damage on these back lines is getting so powerful. The Ambessa has to be careful, as do, you know, both supports this game. Even Sehen as well. You know, he's not immortal just because he's got the passive. They have to be decisive on these engages. The half and half engages will just be suicide at this point. So, yeah, a really important vision jostle going on at the minute. The last of the Baron buff wearing out for Fuse, but that has set them up beautifully. How do Nameless approach this dragon?
Yep, and this dragon might just be the breaking point of this entire game because we're still dead even in gold in terms of where we're at. And to be honest, Fuse has just picked themselves up the first lead in gold. It's not like it matters anyway. There's a Grand Starfall going on to Saintien. That's going to be a beautiful Impale onto Ridden, who's now very low, but so is Saintien taken out. We seem to have a Linium going into the backline, and he's just deleting Tommy, who's very quick on his feet. Does he go down? No, because the Q does not connect. The dragon will be stopped. No soul for Nameless. And, I mean, wow, that's a cost I think Fuse will be happy with.
Yeah, I mean, I just think that a fair play to Tommy. I mean, he's literally been the victim in the series, okay? I mean, like, there's always been somebody going, you don't mind if I just saw
Rising. He's not thinking about nothing but going in. He gets the Extella Impact onto Foxy, who gets the Emperor's Divide, and he's already down. And there's nobody else but Doggo. I don't think he can fight this battle. There's many members coming his way. Valet will be staying like the rest of them, but Rising is not done yet. He hits another stun. He thinks about going in more, but he's got a Tommy by his side now, so he's not going to be doing any such ordeals. That is a bit of an overpush by Nameless.
Yeah, and I mean, this is the point of the game now where Skarner's online. The previous playstyle has to be abandoned, and they have to really focus on getting good teamfight A, B, and C set up. The Leona stun. I don't think a Pantheon initiating with ult is really... We're not at that point of the game, right? We need to be a little bit more timid. We need to have these very good vision set up. Again, it was a blind Pantheon Grand Skyfall into Drake, blind, and the fight got chaotic because Tom got ganked close because they lost track of people. That's literally the big thing. So, yeah, they can make plays like that mid. Skarner can just go, yeah, do you want to hit me 65 times? That's cool. I can take about 150 hits. Who on your team can match that? No one. This fight's mine. And that's exactly what happened. I mean, Foxy's got tons of damage, but they've got to respect that Scorpion.
Speaking of the devil, the depth charge will lock him down. No space for the Extale Impact to connect. Trusha Barrage is starting to hurt. But yeah, no, I absolutely agree. I don't think that Grand Starfall was necessary. Linium, I think he was just pathing using the minimap at this point, really. He's just like, yep, guys, I'm coming. I'm nearly there. Hold on a minute. I'm in the mid lane on the other side of the map. Hold on a minute. That's my bad. And by the way...
What do you mean I'm dead?
I'm dead. Doggo's pushing topside. Nobody's there to match him. That's a whoopsie. This is a great momentum for Nameless. They could... never mind. I'm getting excited. This is an exciting series, man. Let's get excited when we need to.
Always, Dom. And I mean, you know, you're not wrong. I mean, it's a strange misplay. To just randomly die mid. But I mean, we're taking turns. Foxy took a Shurima Shuffle at the 3 and killed himself mid and cost lots. I think the teams are maybe feeling the fatigue of a series right now. I mean, we are back-to-back 30-minute games. They're not easy to maintain focus this entire duration. And both teams, again, they're so well-matched. I dare say no one's really had a runaway gold lead this entire series. Nameless having the largest one in game 2, but losing it just as quick. So
Skarner ult being used, however much backup on the other side. If anything, he could be just caught out himself. The 36 minute is the death timer for all of the series thus far. Is this going to happen again? Remember, both games finished at this point. This team fight, exactly where we are at this point. This position on the minimap.
That's crazy.
In the mid lane. It doesn't happen this time, but we still have 1 minute in order for that to happen. So maybe I cast a cursed it. I don't know. It looks like everybody's disengaging. We're fine. We can breathe.
Okay, we're going to 37 minutes, boys. Big game 3. This is what we're here for, minute 37. I just want to see the clock tick over, to be quite frank. But yeah, it's a really tense moment. Hopefully, Fuse don't go back into the habit of, oh, we were engaging, right? And Rising's just in no man's land, you know, with the Ixtal Impale, and no one's close enough. They need to get back into these team fights that they've performed before, where they can collapse and they get tons of value.
Yeah, and 150 hits onto the Skarner is true. However, half HP, and if my math is mathing, that's about 75 now, and therefore he's not as tanky as he would like to be.
Hey, not wrong,
quick,
by the way.
Quick
Beautiful
math.
mathing.
Thank you very much. I did. Okay, let's leave that there.
Big Storm on the line. I see you, bro. I see
Come on. That's why I'm a play-by-play caster, because nothing else is gonna be as close to opening up in anywhere else. And honestly, it's a fun time to be a play-by-play caster in League of Legends, especially when you have. We have 2 org owners casting this series right now. This is a crazy time to be a caster. It's a world first, man. And if it wasn't, it's like 8 months ago that we was cooking this up. We are going in Death Charge onto another bad Foxy, and he's already golden. So many low members, and they not gonna survive for too much longer as Valet is trying to do something about it. But you still have Linium in the back lines as a triple kill comes through, make that a quadra, and that's exactly why me, your boy, Domain, has maybe a little bit over-biasedly done another tier list where I put Scopes as one mid laner in the entire rostered. I mean, this is crazy. My guy's just getting it. Okay, fair enough. The whole team on Fuse has cooked. I don't know where I'm going with this sentence. I'm just too excited. ADHD is peaking right now. Nameless has not been able to find that Baron fight, and Fuse has turned things around, and they will be picking up their first win in this split into Nameless 2-1.
Hey, commiserations to Nameless. Well, commiserations to me? Yeah, this is so strange. But look, I think the right team won today. I'm not going to hide away from things. And truthfully, when it comes to this phase of the tournament, losses don't mean as much as improvement. You can take a few L's. You've got to get it ironed out by the playoff stage. If that's cooked, the team is cooked. And I mean, I think we've got a lot to learn. I mean, I'm not upset at the win. I don't think we threw. I think we got outplayed, and I think there's areas to improve. But I mean, do you know what? This isn't going to be about sort of like Nameless today. This is about Fuse, who have sealed the deal, right? And they've taken the series, and it's a cracking win. That last play, I think it was a 4-man impale. Nameless just got to a point where Skarner was just so comfortable at taking these fights, and that is where this team was always going to fall apart. It doesn't matter how many kills. Pantheon kind of has that Lee Sin effect. You've got, you know, decent early game impact, but there was always that resting problem, and unfortunately, they just didn't have that end in them. Fuse had that fantastic late game.
Absolutely, and having a Pantheon doing so much work in the early part of the game, and then almost like it just flipped. He couldn't find those angles, and a lot of it came down to maybe over grouping, where you do in fact have a much better side laning comp, and maybe perhaps playing for those side lanes for those grand starfalls a little bit more often. But every single time they tried, Fuse was up on the map, making a play in the mid lane, getting a few flashes, getting in a dragon, getting in that Baron forced where things had to be replied to. And that's the kryptonite into a side lane heavy comp, is that when you start a Baron, you have to get there. And absolutely, man, this right here is the only way a series should end at the start of, because, man, Unfazed, I love you so much. Going back so far back, I would never want for Fuse to have any different of a series, and Nameless obviously not quite finding that 2-1, but finding the 2-1 in itself is an accomplishment. And you've got something here that I will say, walking into this series, I had no idea how much of a challenge, and that's no disrespect, it's just because that I'm seeing so much great potential, especially in this mid lane. And yes, I do see the adaptation from Fuse and focus on Foxy very well done in those 2 last games, but if you can't find him, and Nameless can support one another and push like they did in that game one, this is going to be a very good split for Nameless. What a series, man.
Hey, honestly, goated series, and do you know what? There's no bad blood. As per, it's all good.
I love this. Yeah, no,
I mean,
of course.
ultimately, look, I've always been in it for the league, and the right team won today. I'm not going to hide behind my team and say, "Oh well, luck or lag." It was a very good series. You know what? It's our first ever appearance in Div 2. We're not really, at least my approach to this series was more a case of let's just get the boys into Div 2. I mean, Fuse, yeah, you've got new faces, but you've picked players which were at a caliber that you guys sort of predetermined for the second split. And I mean, you guys are locked in, and I respect it. But do you know what, mate? If I could extend a hand through the screen, I would give you a firm handshake and say, "Well, fucking done on that draft." Excuse me for the French, by the way. And it was really, I'm not even allowed to say
Well,
that, but,
fucking have it. We'll have
Hell
it.
yeah,
We'll fist bump.
I'm not getting fined today. Hey, my man.
Hey, my man. Nah, I love it, man. Love it. Honestly, it's gonna be a love to hate relationship, like League of Legends is. Like, if I had to describe League of Legends in 3 words, it would be love to hate. It is. That's the name of the game, really. So it's gonna be a constant back and forth. I think the next time Nameless can absolutely put us in our place. It's actually gonna come down to, I think, playoffs. I don't know if there's only one time you play against a team in the entire regular split in Benelux Ascent series. So you have 7 officials against the other 7 teams that you're playing into. We'll see you in the playoffs, brother. That's happening.
That's the goal. The goal is to just look. You know, I would be unrealistic if I was to say, or like my ego would be going out of control if I was like, we're going to clean sweep Baz too. I've got bags of respect for the league. I've casted the league. I know a lot of players in the league. I want to be a contender, and I know the boys want to be contenders, and that's exactly what we'll do. We're gonna work on what went wrong and bring it back again. I think we're gonna look. Hey, some tier lists came out, and like a few of the boys had a few rough ones, and I love tier lists, by the way. And I don't think anyone was offended by the tier lists.
Oh,
but
listen,
we're like, hell yeah, let's be the underdogs and let's cook up something. 100%.
Listen, yes, and I hate to be the guy in this room right now where I did create a tier list and it was a top 5, and obviously not being able to, like, I am biased towards Fuse, of course.
Oh, mate, tier lists. You've got to say what you believe, bro. You do say, look, if anybody gets tilted by it,
I had to do it with chest. But this performance, if I had to rerun that tier list, I'm changing a few things right now off the back of this series. What an amazing show. Debut in Division 2, man, for both of us. And honestly, you should be very, very proud of yourself. Going into the next series, I'm just going to say it. You're not going to find as big of a challenge as that we've just given you. So you're going 6-1. I believe it.
Hey, do you know what? Listen.
Okay. Ego's through the roof right now. I know the boys are watching. So I need to glaze them up, you know. But yeah, no, absolutely. Unfazed. Love to see it. Let's keep giving the love to Benelux because this entire league deserves it. I think it's so under the radar that it's ridiculous. So let's keep on cooking. Let's keep on doing what we do best, and that's giving our energy to the people that actually deserve it when they pop off on the Rift. With that said, it's come to an end in a very, very cool manner. 2-1 is one hell of a series. Well played to Nameless. Well played to Fuse. What a day. We'll see you guys next time. This domain is now offline.
I'm phasing out.
My guy. Take care, guys. See you soon. I got carried to Platinum 1, yeah? And then I dropped to Platinum 4. I griefed my ass. And then you take it for what it is. And your boy has used it. Whoa. Where is it?
This is not goodbye, but just a brief refrain.
At this point,
We'll meet again.
I have no idea.
What?
What champion?
Yeah.
No, don't tell him. Don't tell him.
Streaming every night, never alone. 7 p.m. UK. He's here to play all day. Weekends, join the fray. This domain is offline, but don't fret, we'll be fine. 7 p.m. we're back every time for more fun and online shine. Get plugged in, cash and fight so high. Every month reach for the sky. This domain is offline, but hold tight. We're back to the grind. Let's go! League of Legends star.
Like, what is happening to domain screen? Does anybody know? There's like little hearts popping.
Beats with the crew. Music, chats, and fun. Always something new. Always. This domain is offline, but don't fret, we'll be fine.
It's protein, guys. It's protein.
We're back every time for more fun and online shine. Get plugged in, cash and fight so high. Every month reach for the sky. This domain is offline, but hold tight. We're back to the grind. Let's go!
Whose idea was it to do this shit? Woo! Woo, shit!
What's up? What's going on? Did you not hear the intro? Did you not hear the intro music? Well, you heard me.